Here we go. We are going live. We are going live. And we are live.
Live?
We are live. We are live. Yes. Hello. Nobody's watching just yet though, but we are live. I promise. I hear the music in somebody's background. We'll have to turn that down or Rob Zombie will come and arrest us.
Get that chat up here.
But yes, we are live.
He was just bitching about making this movie. I don't think he cares. Disney does, or Miramax
Whoever
does.
bought it out of Miramax, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The fire sale. Good. Yeah.
It says we are live, but nobody is watching. What
I
is...
see Johnny Dean in the chat, DJ Donnelly in the chat.
Okay, well.
So I think we're...
There we go. Johnny Dean is here. DJ Donnelly. The movie Cave is here. Yes, for some reason. Okay, here it's showing me that people are watching now. It was just going a little slow, I guess. Sorry, guys. We had some issues with... we just had some issues. Technical issues. So, but we are live. We are live. Hello. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing well. Oh, goodness. Everybody, before we get the nightmare started, let's welcome B-Movie Mike back to the Sausage Factory. It's been a long... it's been a while, Mike. How are you, buddy?
It's been a little while. I'm doing great, thanks. Good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to have you back. I know everybody's. We've had many people ask about when you were going to make your return to the show, and it's good to have you back. How have you been?
Busy but good. And busy is good.
Yeah, that's
it's always
good
to be accomplishing something.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Get busy living or get busy dying, you know?
Mm-hmm. There you go. But yeah, it's good to have you back. It's been way too long. It's unfortunate though that you chose this show to make your return. But
I didn't choose it.
It chose you.
It chose you.
Yeah, it chose me.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Of course, the stars would have aligned to bring me back for this epic show.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
If there was ever a movie that deserved a raw, unfiltered feed of your concentrated hate, this is it. So I'm glad we brought you out of mothballs for this.
This might be the last show of the Sausage Factory, or at least maybe mine. It depends on if the government agents show up to shut me down.
It very well could be the final show. I actually posted that on social media, and everybody's like, "No, not the last show." And I was like, "Don't take it too literally. I'm just saying that it's going to be a depressing show."
We could get canceled. You never know.
You never know. That is unfortunately true. But yeah, also joining me tonight, we have got Eric. And Eric's actually been on a little bit of a break himself from the show. Eric, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Good. I I wanted to make. I guess similarly, I wanted to make it. I don't think I really wanted to catch this one, but I'm going to be moving soon, so the next few weeks I might not be able to be on. But yeah, no, it's glad to be back with you guys. I'm sorry I haven't been around as much. This is a fun time.
Yeah, well, how have you been? How's October treating you so far?
Good, man. So I presently live in the Pacific Northwest, and it was like October 1 rolled around, and just fall weather. It was like we fell off a cliff. Like it had been really kind of still summery, temperate 70s, and all of a sudden it's like 36 in the morning. It's really cold. We got our heat on. It's good. It's nice fall weather. All the leaves are changing. It's I love this time of year. This is like my favorite time of year. Not just for horror movies. It's just all around. Reminds me of being a kid, I think. Mm-hmm. Just for some reason, it resonates that way.
Oh, yeah. That fall chill came into Florida today. We were down from 100 to 94.
Ooh.
Wow.
Awful.
Wow.
Gosh.
here in Kentucky, it has been extremely hot. It does not feel like October at all. So I think we were in like the 90s today, at least high 80s, if not 90s today. And I think for the past couple of days also. So it's been very hot here in Kentucky.
There's some weird weather going on. There's some kind of I saw there was like a weather map, and it looked like there was this big orange blob sitting on like the East Coast and the southern states, and then this sort of blue triangle in like the upper West area. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's probably going to turn soon.
Yeah.
Freaking blue blobs, man.
So yeah. Also with me tonight is Lauren. How's it going, Lauren? How are you, man?
I'm okay. Yesterday we had horrible news come across of the death of Kim Shattuck, the lead singer and songwriter from the band The Muffs, who were a tremendously important band in my youth. And so that was a horrible thing. I'd say we should have a moment of silence, but that's the last thing in the world that Kim Shattuck would want. She'd prefer all of us to just remember the noise. So
we're going to have a moment of silence before we start this commentary because we're going to need it. But
It's gonna be all of us sneaking out.
So I actually obtained copies of this and Halloween 2 for next week from a Amazon listing from a Christian Charities because I did not own these films. And by the end of tonight, I promise you, I will not own a functioning copy of Rob Zombie's Halloween.
So you are going to ritualistically destroy that copy of Rob Zombie's Halloween after tonight's show.
I'm hoping it doesn't free the evil when I destroy the disc.
You should do it on camera.
I'm going to.
This needs to be an event.
I absolutely intend to do exactly that.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, nice, very nice.
Are you going to skull fuck it, perhaps? Maybe.
First skull fuck of the night.
Over the big ass floppy
I promise you.
Oh, goodness gracious. Also with me tonight is Rahul Magnifico. What's up, Rahul? How's everything up in Canada? Oh, he came prepared.
This shit is gonna give me heartburn, but fuck it.
Where are we drinking there,
Keep your
Rahul?
thumbs just off camera.
Jameson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good
No,
stuff.
I was just doing that for a gag. I always look forward to watching a movie with you guys. It makes it 10 times more fun, even though this movie is dog shit. Here we go. Cheers.
Actually, Paul Kelman posted on Twitter today, I think, or yesterday.
It was today he posted his.
Okay, his birthday.
Yeah, his birthday.
And I was like, "Happy birthday, sir!" And I looked for a GIF featuring Moosehead beer, and there is no Moosehead beer GIF.
I have to get on. Okay, so I have to go get my copy of My Bloody Valentine this weekend, get some GIFs up, and take care of that because that's disgusting.
That is disgusting. Yes, absolutely.
There's got to be a couple of moose heads in that scene in the bar, and get a couple of those GIFs up there. Yeah.
And with me tonight also is Stone Gassman. What's up, Stone?
How you doing? I'm doing
great.
wonderful. Yeah, like you were saying, it's really hot in Kentucky. In New York, it's pretty bad as well. I don't know why, but yeah, we've experienced a lot of heat the past couple days. The subways have been overcrowded, especially around September 11th. They were brutal, if you can imagine. But I've been just working long hours and coming home and chilling and writing and doing my thing. And I'm actually decided I'm going to go to New Jersey HorrorCon next weekend, only because I'm a huge Diane Franklin fan, and when I found out she's going to be there, I thought, okay, I'll go to one HorrorCon in my life because I've never been to one before, so this will be an interesting experience. Yeah,
you should,
very interesting.
You should watch my what was it called? Surviving a convention or horror convention 101 video or something. There's some good pointers in there.
I remember that.
Yes.
But I got to rewatch it. Yeah.
Yes, there's some good pointers in there to help you survive.
Awesome.
And Jay the Stingray was having some technical issues. He will hopefully be with us shortly. So, but let's see what's going on out in the chat tonight. We've got a lot of love for B Movie Mike out in the chat. Everybody's excited to see B Movie Mike back. Let's see, Johnny Dean, how are you? DJ Donnelly, The Movie Cave, Charlie Chalk, Marbsby, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Crystal Lake Counselor 1977, that's our old buddy Chris. Max Punishment. Max, we've not seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Let's see who else is with us tonight. PlayStation 9, hello. Borderline 11, hello. Steak Sauce, what's up, Steak Sauce? E-Boogie, how are you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. Movies Everywhere. Movies Everywhere says B Movie Mike is the man.
Well, thank you.
Fair.
So
Good to be back.
yeah, a lot of love for B Movie Mike. DJ Donnelly wants to know if you are still vaping, Mike.
Of course.
What a silly question, DJ. I mean, come on. What a silly question.
Vape life.
Am I still breathing? Obviously.
Also, Barbecue Network is with us tonight. Also, hello, Barbecue Network. So yes, tonight we are watching Rob Zombie's Halloween. It's I've actually had a number of people ask me to go a little more in depth on why I call this film the most depressing movie-going experience of my life. So if you guys will just give me a moment, I will do that now. I will discuss that. But first, we need to go all the way back to the early 2000s. The remake trend was in full bloom, and it was only a matter of time before Halloween would be next on that chopping block. And I think we all were dreading the day that it was announced. However, when it was announced that Rob Zombie would be directing it, I was excited because I loved House of a Thousand Corpses. I loved The Devil's Rejects. He seemed to be a horror movie fan with respect for the original Halloween. And of course, I mean, if anybody's going to do it, it might as well be him and not the guy, because it seemed like a lot of these remakes were being directed by the guy who directed a Britney Spears video or a Blink-182 video. So it was just, it was not good. I remember going to the movies to watch it. It was Friday afternoon. It was the very first matinee. I left out of work early. I sat in the theater and I was really excited for the film. And I'm sure you guys have all had one of those moments in a movie when it's a movie that you really want to like, but you realize that it's not very good. And that's a very sinking feeling. That happened to me pretty early on in Rob Zombie's Halloween, and that sinking feeling only got worse. Because it wasn't just the feeling that this movie's not very good, it was the feeling that this movie's not going to get any better, and as a matter of fact, it's only going to get worse. But I kept thinking, whenever it shifts gears to become an actual remake, and we see the adult Michael Myers doing what he's supposed to be doing, things will get better. It did not. And I just think Rob Zombie missed every single mark with this movie. And I think he was absolutely the wrong person to direct anything Halloween related. His writing style, his directing style is the complete antithesis to what a Halloween film fundamentally is. And walking out of that theater, I walked out into like a bright sunny day and I just felt so awful. And it was a feeling that just stayed with me for a long time. And I've never suffered clinical depression, but I have to imagine that that's kind of the feeling. I just wanted to like sit in a dark room. I didn't want anyone to see me. I didn't want to see anybody. I just felt hollow inside. The movie hollowed me out like a fresh jack-o'-lantern. And Rob Zombie defecated upon inside of the jack-o'-lantern. It was that kind of experience. And just thinking about it now, is there any way I can get out of this now? Is what I'm thinking. Can I Can I force myself to get sick? I have watched bits and pieces of the movie on television here and there. I've not watched it in its entirety since. I did sit through most, if not all, of the 4.5-hour documentary about the making of this movie because I think I was just so desperately trying to figure out how it went this badly. But yeah, so this is going to be. I've not watched this movie in its entirety since the premiere. Or since its opening day, and I don't know what's going to happen to me during the course of this commentary. I don't know if I'll make it. I don't know. I just don't know. So when I said on social media today that it may be the last Sausage Factory, it may be my last Sausage Factory. I don't know. We'll see. Jay the Stingray. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Jay the Stingray, are you here, my friend?
I'm here.
Okay. he's feeling a little bit
As if watching this movie wasn't bad enough. Having crazy difficulties on my end.
Well, hopefully that's better. Hopefully it's better now.
And I get to watch it on my phone, so that'll be even more fun.
Wow. Jeez, oh Pete.
More skull bucks than your phone can handle.
Oh geez, what were you going to say, Eric? I'm sorry.
All I was going to say is I just think it's interesting. It seems like you hate the movie even more than I do. I give it the part of the movie towards the end where it's remaking the original Halloween, I actually think is quite effective. And as we watch, I'll call out some other things that I don't mind. Like Brad Dourif as the sheriff, I actually really like that. And part of why I like it is, Brad Dourif is always a villain. Like the only other thing I can think of where he's not a villain is like Deadwood, where everybody's kind of in an area of gray. But like again, just Brad Dourif's great. I think he actually gives the sheriff a character, which again, love the original Halloween. I'm not criticizing it, but I mean the sheriff is kind of just he's sort of an archetype, right? Sort of the hard-nosed dad, the hard-nosed sheriff who doesn't believe the threat that's coming. Brad Dourif kind of gives him a little. He may be the best character in the movie. Mm-hmm. We were joking offline. Are there characters in this movie? I think there's one, and I think it's the sheriff played by Brad Dourif. I think he does a good job.
The one
lucky for him, his competition was pretty light.
Yeah, it's a low bar.
I'll agree that he is the one bright spot of the movie. Of course, I'm a big Brad fan. You know what I mean? He's everything he's done I enjoy. So he makes every movie he's in better. Unfortunately, this material was so bad he can only lift it up so far. That's some pretty heavy lifting for a little guy like that.
Yeah, that is the one area. I mean, Brad Dourif is good in everything, but I really didn't mind Scout Taylor Compton as Laurie Strode. I thought she did a decent job. I could save a lot of this for the commentary, but I mean, the treatment of Loomis in this movie and in the sequel too just like, what were you thinking? This is the captain of this series, and you've turned his character into like an opportunistic, phony, like what? Come on, no.
There's an interview with Zombie where, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't record all the Rob Zombie interviews and commit them to memory, but I do remember him saying something rather telling about exactly that, where it's something akin to like, I mean, yeah, Loomis has got to be like the worst psychiatrist like in the world, right? And I just remember no, like you've completely missed the point. Like in one sentence, you've explained why you were the wrong person to direct this material.
I always kind of felt he would have been better off doing the Texas Chainsaw remake.
Yeah, give him something
that seems like
dirty
something
and
that's
grungy.
more up Zombie's alley.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. There were a lot of interviews with Zombie. It seemed like right after the movie was finished. There was even some on the set of Rob Zombie's Halloween where he was talking down about John Carpenter and John Carpenter's Halloween, like saying, well, this didn't make sense to me and that didn't make sense to me, and Loomis just seems like he's drunk all the time, and who somebody taught him how to drive, really? Come on. It's like, dude, okay, I'll believe somebody taught him to drive over some of the, come on.
I mean,
Anyway.
you know, if you ride in a car with somebody long enough, you're going to kind of you're going to see what they're doing and kind of figure it out.
Exactly. You're not driving the space shuttle. You know what I mean? You're not. You know.
It's just that he understands the material so deeply. The plot point about Michael being able to drive in the original version, it would be a plot hole in a film that's not meant as a clear allegory. It's not meant to be this hard reality. It's a small story about babysitters being stalked.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I need him to get from A to B. Like
Right.
that's an easy way to do it.
Right. And because there's this veneer of supernaturalism that's throughout the film, even though it's not explicit until the final scene, it's okay because you're dealing with a kind of stylized reality. Rob Zombie's idea was to stylize all reality around a trailer park in Alabama.
True.
Yeah, some things when you try to make them overtly realistic, they lose everything that was good about them.
Yes.
And I think that's part of the problem with this movie is when you try to make it about, you know, specific mental illness and about this and about that and about crooked psychiatrists and you add all these realistic everyday elements into it, you're just destroyed everything that was made the first movie good.
Well, I mean, there's sort of two things there, right? Like, for one, like in the original Halloween, at least the way I understand it, like the whole point is that there is nothing anybody could have done with Michael Myers to fix him. Like Loomis's whole point is it's like, listen, there came a point where I understood, like I wasn't really dealing with a person. I was dealing with pure evil. And we just need to lock him away or kill him or do something with him, but we can't help him. The second thing would be maybe a more talented filmmaker and storyteller than Rob Zombie could have tried to build a Halloween story around a young Michael Myers that actually does suffer from a mental illness that like builds and builds and builds and turns him into that thing. But like Rob Zombie's version of mental illness is just some puffy faced kid who kills rats and has a stripper mom. Like that's what makes him a killer.
He's trying to show that he's a serial killer because he was made that way by his surroundings.
Yeah.
And of course, one of the traits of serial killers as children is that they start out killing animals.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why he threw that in there, because he was trying to make it seem like, well, he's a killer because his mom's a stripper, because his stepdad's an asshole, because his sister's a slut. And these are the reasons why Michael Myers kills people. And that's where his, you know, that's why the whole first half of this movie is garbage.
But the problem is that Michael Myers isn't a serial killer. He's a monster. That's what the whole movie's about. It's about this almost spiritual belief of Loomis that Michael is more than a man with a knife. And the moment we make him a man with a knife, the whole purpose of the original film gets destroyed. And all the reasons the original is scary get destroyed. It's just a misunderstanding.
And that's why, you know, in the original, of course, it was a 6-year-old kid living in a nice neighborhood whose parents had a good job. And it was like, these things don't happen here. This is completely out of the ordinary. This shouldn't happen here. So why did it happen? And that was the big mystery. Why is a 6-year-old kid going to kill his older sister for no apparent reason and then not talk about it ever? Okay, so his parents obviously had a good job. He came from a good neighborhood. These, that was kind of part of the mystery. Yeah. And then, you know, as he gets older, he's just a regular sized dude. He's about 5'10".
Exactly.
He just looks like a regular guy in a Halloween costume, and he blends in with everybody else. And in this movie, he's 7 feet tall. You know, it's just like I'm supposed to be afraid of him, not because, you know, in the original it was like you weren't afraid of him until it was too late to be afraid of him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But in this movie, it's just like, oh my God, it's the Hulk. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And even in the script for Halloween, because like, you know, in Halloween, the one time you really do see his face, you know, the script calls this out, I think, better than it shows in the movie. But I mean, you know, it's clear as day in the movie too. Like in the script, it's kind of like, you know, the mask comes off and it's just a guy. Like he's not no like messed up face. No, he's just a man. It looks like a boy almost, I think, is actually one of the lines in the script. Like, so I mean, I think your point is spot on, Mike, in that the whole point was he's just this unremarkable dude who happens to be complete evil. Like, and only one person really understands this, and like he can't get anyone to listen to him.
Yeah, he's superhuman for reasons that will probably never be understood by modern science, right? I mean, it's outside the realm of anything we can understand,
Right.
which is where the scare factor comes in.
Yeah.
Because there's literally like nothing you can do to stop him because you don't know why he's doing it. But again, having a wrestler play the guy, and even the kid. I mean, I know they got the kid because he's big to make it more believable that he would grow up to be Tyler Mane, I imagine. But again, what is he, 13? He's not 6 or whatever. I don't know how
Yeah,
old he is.
Something
Like
like that.
10, he's definitely bigger. Yeah.
He just, I don't know though. They got the whole thing wrong. It's like, whoever said that, at every turn he got it wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But although I do agree with Eric that in some points during the adult era of the film here, they do kind of get a couple of things, where it was like, oh, he almost had something. Like with the music, although he did kind of, mess with the music a little bit like he always does to make it more, I don't know, repulsive, uneasy. I don't know. But there were a couple of moments there, and of course, Brad Dourif, but that's not enough to. It's a turd, but it's a turd with corn in it. Does that make it better?
Well, I was going to comment too that I think one of the, of course, and I'll celebrate it when we watch it. We do have the return of Danielle Harris to the franchise in one of the other parts of the movie that I quite like. But like, as much as I do, topless Danielle Harris is great, but like, I feel a little bit angry about that too because she finally gets back into the franchise and she plays like a terrible part. Like Rob Zombie's version of teenagers in 2007 or whatever present day that's supposed to be is just like these like loudmouth cursing, like they don't. And again, there are different people all over the world, but like I've never met any girls like the ones in that movie. I've never met people like the girls in that movie. They just don't feel real. And again, I like Danielle Harris. I think she's a good actress, and she comes back for this.
I always feel like Rob Zombie with every single film feels like he'll never be allowed to make another film. So he wants to throw everything that interests him into the film, whether it belongs there or not. And it's an overload in every scene. Like every scene is dialed up to 11. And the original Halloween is a great example of you slowly dial from 2 up to 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. But we're on 11 from the moment he's killing a hamster, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he was on Joe Rogan's podcast a couple weeks ago, and I watched it. It was a pretty good interview. But he did say that there was just an unbelievable amount of studio meddling with this film. I don't know how much of that had anything to do with it, but a little insight into his background. When him and his brother were young, his parents were carnies, and he worked at a carnival when he was like 5 years old. And these were the people that he was around. So his earliest human influence were carnies. These guys that acted like people in this movie. So I think maybe that's where he gets his character types from. That's the only thing I can think of. But I mean, he's older than I am now. You think he would have met some different people?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a lot of carnies in the music business. The head of Geffen Records is, I'm sure as soon as Rob Zombie signed the contract, he was like, well, congratulations, I'm going to call F you in a second, or something. I don't know. I don't know. Well, guys, let's go ahead. Let's get this thing started. But first, I think we need a moment of silence here. Let's try and gather ourselves. Let's bow our heads. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. What? We're getting ready for this, Lauren. Okay.
This is not helping.
What?
This is stressing me out worse than the movie.
We just have to get ready. We have to get ready for this. Okay.
Might as bring in a priest to do last rites.
I think so. I need
Couldn't
like
hurt.
In nomine Patri Spiritus.
It's like,
The power of Christ compels you.
it's like that episode of The Simpsons. Jesus, Buddha, Allah, I love you all.
I don't even believe in Jeebus.
All right, guys. I'm going to count down from Okay, has everybody got your copy set at the very beginning of the film? 0, 0, 0, 0.
Sure.
Cue it up. Get her.
If you say we have to.
Get her queued up. Get her queued up. Everybody at home, if you're watching along with us, get your copy of. This is the director's cut that we are watching.
Except me, I'm watching that theatrical.
Some of you are watching that.
Yeah.
I have the theatrical.
I'm gonna get out of sync, and things are gonna get really.
I'm sure it doesn't matter because I had several people online today say, "Well, I hope you guys watch the theatrical cut. It's better." And I'm thinking,
Better?
No, I don't. Better in Rob Zombie's Halloween. There is no.
So some of us will get to see the rape scene, and the other ones won't.
Oh, that's right. I think that is.
Oh, that is the scene. Okay, yep. There's that scene. Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Which that
Because again,
scene, it
even the
added so
people
much.
who work at the mental health facility apparently just walked out of the trailer park and started like raping patients. And God,
Oh, forgot about Danny Trejo's character.
I
Yeah,
actually
he's-
liked his character.
Yeah, he was a
actually.
sympathetic character, and I kind of wish they would have. He was like the only one that was ever good to Michael, and it would have been kind of nice if he would have survived, just as a nod to that. Because after all, Michael's human, right?
Not in Rob Zombie.
Well,
In Rob Zombie's
well,
world,
that's the
niceness
point.
equals death.
Yeah.
Brutal
Yeah.
death.
Yeah, that's the point, Mike. He's so bad that he kills the nice man. Can't you see how complex Rob Zombie is, Mike? Don't you get it?
All right, guys. I'm going to count down from 3, and then we'll get this started. In 3,
I paused on the Dimension Films logo.
in 3. Take it all the way back to the beginning.
Back
Stan.
it up to 0.
Back it up to 0, brother.
Oh,
This is like
Okay.
a countdown to the Challenger being launched.
No, this is an even darker day than that.
Nothing good is coming to this.
oh.
All right, here we go.
A bit much.
Here we go.
You feel the dread.
In 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, here we go.
Oh boy,
Jeez.
it's like you almost pushed the red button.
According to Amazon General Trivia, apparently Emma Stone auditioned for Laurie Strode. I've never heard that before.
Wow.
I believe that.
Scout Taylor straight out of Compton got it.
Yep. I'm glad there's this little fake quote here from Dr. Loomis at the beginning of the film.
And it's a terrible quote,
And it's
too.
awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Already. I'm feeling it already. I don't know. I'm not going to make it. I'm just not going to make it.
Would this film do better for you if it was titled something different?
If it was
No.
if it was 2 seconds long, it would be better.
Well, if it wasn't actually a Halloween film, if it was just called like Rob Zombie's Mad Slasher Man.
Yeah.
Probably
I actually
not.
think I could handle it better.
No, I don't think so. Still. No.
Well, think about the things that are so offensive about it to us. And again, maybe you could argue again, it's still terrible. But I'm just saying, like, the things that are offensive to me are the way he doesn't get Loomis, the way he doesn't get Michael Myers. Everybody apparently in Illinois, everybody is from like, I don't know, Alabama or Arkansas
Say
or
it.
something.
That's,
Oh God.
actually, I'm going to have to say that that's an insult to the people from Alabama.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Wow. Sherry Moon.
I love that this was like the first dialogue. Like I can imagine him sitting in a room. It's like, oh yeah.
Oh, I was right.
Ready.
I can't hear it. That does make it better.
Oh, in the documentary,
There it
they
is. Just got
actually
to-
have
Sorry.
shots of the first table reading where they're just saying all this dialogue and just laughing. That's pretty much it.
Well, what would your reaction have been?
Laugh. Oh, this is shit, Rob. What the fuck did you
Getting
write?
paid for this?
Well,
Even like the set design, like the dishes in the sink, it's so overdone.
Yeah.
How white trash can we make the scene?
I feel like I'm watching an episode of Hoarders.
well, apparently
extra-
he wanted to reflect the 1970s, but not exactly have it set during that time. Just inspired by the decade. This doesn't. I don't know. Do you think this is 1970s to you?
Well, it's got kind of an orangish tint to the lighting, so yes, it must be the 70s.
Yeah, right.
By the way, for an extra creep factor, and you guys probably know this, but Judith Myers is little Jenny from Forrest Gump.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So another perfectly good movie ruined by this movie.
Do you guys like Sherry Moon?
She's certainly trying. Like I wouldn't say she like phoned in anything. She's certainly giving it her best effort. That amounts to very little, but she certainly does seem like she's trying to do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
But see, that's another thing. Like they kind of make it like he's just another guy with mommy issues. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just remember the original's opening, the first person viewpoint, the slow crawl up the stairs, the gathering the knife. Think about how elegant what Carpenter did compared to this, which is like, this is what happens when you hand a college student a camera and say, make fun of your fellow students. It's just, one is really elegant and one is exactly the opposite.
Well, and to your point, I mean, he basically just strips out all the mystery from the original, and he feels the need to explain everything about Michael Myers, which is, God.
Well, that also kind of makes me
stroking
question.
a milk bottle.
Yeah, that also kind of makes me question Rob Zombie's even his fandom as a horror fan. I mean, every horror fan knows the less you know, the scarier it is. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Oh, Dag Ferk now, interesting side note, is also like a rap artist. He's like a rapper or something now.
Who is?
If you look him up on YouTube, you'll see some of his rapping at like a convention he was at. And, oh, Jesus.
Hey, there's the Spy Kid.
So, bullies are apparently supposed to be a bigger problem in a world than a kid who just killed his pets. Like, I don't know who we're supposed to sympathize with through this whole first section. And I'm not saying it's possible to make a film without a sympathetic character, but you have to have at least a character that you understand their perspective. And there's no
protagonist.
Yeah, every one of these people is too much.
Wash your hands, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck, he's trying to walk out of there without washing his hands.
Yeah, I would go back to the sheriff as being the only human character.
Pretty much, yeah.
That might be why. That frankly, that actually might be what, because it's sort of like when Loomis talks to him, it's not like he's sort of like, well, what do you mean, you skull fucking bastard? Of course he's not coming. He's like, no, that's not going to happen. It's very reasonable. Why? Like, he's actually the only person who talks like a human being the whole movie.
Well, it's interesting. It was in this very scene during the director's commentary in which he was saying that, oh, your language, it's so disgusting and rough and everything. But, he is right. They are atrocious non-human beings, I think.
Has anybody ever done a count, like how many F-bombs are dropped in this movie?
No one can count that high. No one.
I don't see the point in that, really. But
yeah.
Well, just
man, Hippie Loomis is here.
Count the lines of dialogue, divide by multiply by.
Hippie Loomis. I'm sorry. That's a good way to put it.
Just finished smoking a bowl, and he's going to come in and talk to these people.
I almost wonder, like, I almost wonder if, like, maybe that is one of the fundamental things about this Loomis 2 that makes him so awful. Because, first of all, I really like Malcolm McDowell. I hate that this movie makes me not like Malcolm McDowell. But I wonder if this is sort of like a hippified version and Donald Pleasant's version. They never say this. They never get into his deep backstory, but he almost seems like a guy who maybe fought in like World War II, who'd maybe seen some really serious shit. So it's like he knows evil when he sees it, kind of a thing. Whereas like this guy is like, you think he was probably hanging out at like Woodstock and, maybe did some LSD and I don't know, like this
whole thing could be a figment of his imagination.
Yeah. Like
he's having a bad trip.
So how disturbing is it though that we have Richard Lynch and Malcolm McDowell on screen and it's a bad scene?
Right.
Should that ever happen?
Harsh on my mellow, bro.
There's the jams.
It still kept my attention.
The perfect moment.
Now,
see, this is how off they are. Like, I'm in like the principal's office.
Yeah, me too.
I'm looking at the
I
pictures.
don't think I have subtitles on this shitty DVD.
Yeah, I was getting the photo collage of dead animals.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
No, I'm at like he's out of the school now.
Oh, okay.
I'm jealous. You're further along. That means
Yeah, I'm in the
We're
future.
closer to the end, Raiho. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Again, a decision that I did kind of like. I do like that Zombie didn't like screw up the Halloween theme. In fact, he
Yeah, but
plays
he
it
put it in the
pretty
wrong
normal.
spots.
But that's true.
What an awful time to key it up here.
Yeah.
None of this is.
And I know we're way past it, but like I love how creative the title sequences are in the original Halloween movies. But it's like all he does is like flash the title in a very horrible font and text. So there's nothing to it. There's no snap to it. I don't know why. I don't know if that's just laziness or if he just doesn't want to.
It's almost like he thought to himself, and I'm maybe giving him more credit for his thoughts than are real, but it's almost like he thought to himself, because Lauren brought it up earlier about like how creative the original shot in Halloween is. It's almost like Zombie said, like, you know what, there is no way I can ever touch these things that kind of are just so so innovative. So I'm not even going to try. Like, I'm just going to kind of drop you into the movie and start telling the story I want to tell. Like, I can kind of, if that's what he thought, I guess I can understand that to a certain extent. I'm not sure I excuse it, but.
And that's why I want to say, believe me, I don't want to come out as the defender of this movie among this group. But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. For better or for worse, I consider a lot of remakes now to be, almost like in music, cover versions. For better or for worse, this is Rob Zombie's cover of the original Halloween. It's a vision, and he obviously worked hard on it. But I understand why a lot of horror fans hate it. I'm very middle of the road on it. I mean, when I first, it was in 2006, I first heard of Rob Zombie. I never listened to any of his music. And I was watching Turner Classic Movies Underground one night. And he introduced the 1927 classic West of Zanzibar with the Man of a Thousand Faces, Lon Chaney. And it's like, wow, this guy knows his, he obviously loves film history, and he obviously knows his shit. And then a couple of months afterward, I saw the Black Christmas remake, which I thought was probably the worst horror remake or worst remake I've seen up until that point. When I finally saw Halloween, I just kind of sat down and watched it, and I didn't walk out depressed like Piz, but I walked out kind of feeling empty. I didn't see exactly what was he trying to do with this movie. Did he just want to do a cover version and say, if you like it, that's cool. If you don't, then whatever. I don't know. I find the movie long and exhausting, interesting at times, and but I'm not bored by it, mostly because of the cast. I mean, he loves picking, his, all these familiar faces to fill out the screen, and I enjoy watching them, even if the script is terrible.
Does love wasting talent. That's true.
Well, yeah.
Well, this murder sequence is exactly what's wrong with the movie, right? So, in the original, it's a senseless, completely arbitrary act we cannot get our heads around. The murder of his sister comes out of nowhere. Here, he's almost justified in this murder. And again, it would be different if, as an audience, we were supposed to sympathize with him. But again, they already had him kill a pet.
Yeah.
It's just scene by scene, everything's dialed up way too high. There's no sense of anything.
And that's a good question. Is Rob Zombie, does he want us to actually sympathize with Michael Myers? I can't really tell. But if he is, then I don't like that.
It's hard.
We're not supposed to sympathize with him. Sorry.
It's a good question, but for me, it's sort of hard to think he's trying to do anything else, because he's surrounded. That's the thing. He's surrounded Michael Myers by so many hateful characters. The over the top bullies, the over the top stepdad or uncle or whatever the hell that William Forsythe guy is. His sister's like a huge foul mouthed slut. Even his mom is maybe the nicest one. Even she's kind of over the top. It's like, I don't know how you view this and you don't feel bad for him. Like, and again, maybe that isn't what Zombie was going for, but to me, that's the effect. That's how I feel watching it.
I don't know what movie it was, but I've heard modern audiences complain that villains aren't sympathetic enough. And to me, that kind of goes
Really?
against what the villain is supposed to be. The villain is supposed to be the guy that you root against, or the person you root against.
Yeah.
But again, it's like it's hard to find anybody to root for except the sheriff in this movie. Like the kid who just got beat to death. Did anybody really give a shit that he
No.
died? I mean, that's kind of
No.
that's bad writing. I
Well-
mean, you should be like, oh my god, that's horrible. But it was kind of like, yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, it was like, oh, it was brutal, because that's all
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah.
It's,
Maybe
it's
he went a
brutal.
little too far and he should have stopped. But yeah, I kind of understand.
Well, someone said, I don't know, Piz, I don't know if it was you. Someone sort of just commented that they didn't mind Scout Taylor Compton or Taylor
Yeah.
Scout. Anyway, whoever played Lori.
Scout Taylor Compton.
I disagree in that I found her completely vanilla and unremarkable. Like, and again, comparing her to Jamie Lee Curtis, I mean, that's a tough comparison. Jamie Lee Curtis is great. You know, how many of these kinds of movies was she in where she had great presence, and she's obviously a good actress. But like, you know, her Lori, if you think about it in the original Halloween, like Lori doesn't say a lot. She has dialogue. It's not like she's a mute, but it's really more her presence. Like, you know, you see her sitting on the side of the road with the pumpkin waiting for Annie to come. And it's just kind of a presence and a mood. And there's sort of a strength in Lori that you just get from the way Carpenter assembles that movie. This Lori is just a character. She's just a girl who just happens to be the one who's like, there's nothing that I see in the way he presents her character as being remarkable or why she survives this killer. If anything, Zombie just presents a scenario for why, like, she escapes because Michael lets her escape. Like, he's not really, it's unclear what he wants from her exactly, but he's trying to just, you know, reunite with her or something.
Oh God!
And that's another unforgivable sin.
I'm getting ready to leave. This, I think this is the part. This is the part in the movie where I realized this is really bad, and it's not going to get any better.
Oh,
Sherry Moon
I don't
and
mind.
you.
I don't mind seeing Sherry Moon stripping. I don't mind. Seeing her stripping.
It's the love hurts thing, and like what
I knew that
what
was what
is
you were
going?
talking about.
Oh,
He certainly did ruin a lot of really good classic rock songs, didn't he?
Oh man. On the commentary, he says, "Yeah, I chose the song because it's funny." Like, what does that even mean?
it's funny.
It's a funny song. Yeah, whatever. He thinks it's a funny song. I don't get that. But when I was in the theater, I thought I was watching Dazed and Confused for a second. I'd rather watch that, actually.
Jeez, oh Pete. Resurrection reviews. I'm not dead yet. I'm holding on, just barely.
You can make it, Piz. You can make
It's
it.
like one of Rob Zombie's roadies or something that they got in there.
Hey, Piz, seriously, if I can make it through 4.5 hours of the Rob Zombie production diaries on this, you can make it through this one last time.
I'll
Oh, come on,
pretty
baby.
rough.
I want to do it with the mask on.
I've been watching this kid eat candy for like 5 fucking seconds.
Oh, and he ate a lot of candy.
Yeah, he
ate a lot of candy.
Like, even the scene, like, he's like starting his rampage here. Like, who really even feels that bad about it? Because he kills the asshole stepdad or whoever that guy is to the mom. Like, it's kind of like, okay, what do I care? That guy was an asshole anyway, you know?
And you're absolutely right. I mean, it's like, Piz was depressed. I just felt empty. I felt nothing.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate it.
Oh, I felt a deepening, like, sickness in my stomach as the movie went on. I definitely felt that.
Oh, okay.
I'm still jealous you guys are ahead of me.
So
Not fair.
in the
Like he's already
theatrical
getting to work
version,
here.
he's like eating candy corn in the kitchen. Now he's grabbing the tape. Are you guys behind
yeah,
that?
no, that's
I'm ahead of that
exactly
a
where
little
I'm at. Exactly where I'm at.
Why do we need to see him eat so much candy?
I don't know. He's eating all
I
this.
mean, I get it. I get it.
I think
I get
Rob
it. He doesn't
Zombie.
care.
Sugar's evil.
I think
The
Rob
sugar, that's
Zombie.
what-
Yeah, I think Rob Zombie is saying that sugar and childhood obesity is the cause of psychopaths.
Oh,
I think he is a vegan.
He's just
Walker
Who
Lucky, he's not
actually-
doing meth.
Who actually likes candy corn? Is that
I love candy corn.
dude?
I think that this Michael Myers should have wore the smock and the fucking clown mask for the whole movie. Like,
That would have been better. Yeah.
and he should have been huge, so it should have just been like a bib, or like a mask on his head. Like, and he's like,
so.
Would have been better.
Here's a question: is the clown mask is an homage to the original idea for the mask,
but
right?
in the first movie,
Mhm.
the kid has the clown mask, right?
Oh, well, I was taken even one step further that was one of the original ideas for the mask.
It was
Instead of the
originally-
William Shatner mask, they thought about a clown
Yeah,
mask.
it was.
Oh.
It was a Nixon mask.
I'm just thinking of that. At the very start of the first movie, he's dressed as a
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
clown.
Yeah.
The original mask that they were going to go with was a Richard Nixon mask.
Oh wow.
Well, they had
That
a,
would have
they,
been
they, had
weird.
a, they had a clown mask too. I forget who it was. It was I
Pulling
can't
up
think
the
of the
music.
name.
Bozo or something.
No, I can't think of it.
That would have been
Well, I
appropriate.
was gonna.
Kind of like the drunk hobo clown guy from the 50s or 60s or whatever.
Oh, Red Skelton.
No, I can't think
He
of it.
used to do a clown, didn't he?
I was thinking Bozo would be appropriate because isn't that out of Chicago?
Yeah.
I was going to say real quick about the mask. In the commentary, he mentions that on the bag that he pulls the mask out, it doesn't. You can't see it very well, but apparently he bought that mask from the same exact store that in the original where he stole it from, and apparently Rob Zombie just wanted to have a character just buy it, have somebody take it later. It's like
How clever.
and I want to know, where did he come up with these ideas?
You're trying to look into a very dark place, man.
Yeah, I don't, and I think I see an abyss. I think I see it. Oh, I see it. I see a nice ass on screen though.
Come on, that's little Jenny.
Oh no! The one with the dump.
I believe it's pronounced Jenai.
Jenny.
Janai,
Janai.
Monet, Janelle Monet. No.
She was
So these
also in
characters-
the Virgin Suicides, which is a really good movie too.
Two. In addition to this, that is also.
No,
a very
I
good
mean
movie.
that and Forrest Gump and Forrest Gump, not this.
Is her name like Hannah Hall or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, Hannah Hall. Okay.
Yeah, I just watched that, and she's like 13, so I feel kind of awkward seeing her nude.
Well, here she would be 13 years older. So.
See, this is why I don't feel bad about new Danielle Harris, because she's technically older than me. So when I first saw her, she was already older than me. There's sort of like a linear progression of time. It's okay
Keep
for me
telling
to
yourself that
ogle,
there.
the former child star.
Keep telling yourself
Hey,
that. It's okay.
Hey, look, my favorite was still seeing Sherry Moon on that pole. I don't care.
Her best scene in the movie.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Somebody's
I
got
give her a $1 bill. that sounds so horrible.
Oh, that's in the 70s, man. You throw a handful of nickels at her.
Oh man.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I ever heard it before, or maybe I did in the theater, but the subtitles tell me Judith is listening to Don't Fear the Reaper.
yeah.
Yeah, I can hear it right now.
Doesn't
Oh,
I had
wow.
to turn up the sound because there's no subtitles on this shitty DVD.
Oh, wouldn't want
Is
you
that
to miss
I thought
anything.
that's illegal.
I'm watching it silent style. It's a little better. Nope.
You really went overboard with that classic rock in there.
Yeah.
The only subtitle you need is "This film is garbage. This film is garbage. This film is garbage," and it'll tell you everything you need to know.
So to me, this is more like a true grindhouse picture. Like Nightmare in a Damaged Brain is always what I compare it with. In a film that you're supposed to feel no morality towards whatsoever, what you're watching.
It's a nightmare from a damaged brain.
And why is Michael like a perv now? Like, what has he ever?
Well, there has to be the sexual component of the serial killer.
Exactly.
Come on now.
Yeah. Come on.
You know, because
Kid's got a
incest is
melon
scary.
head. How's that fucking ass so big on his head? Like, kid's got a freakishly huge head. And obviously, it has to fit the monstrosity that plays him as an adult, too. But
I absolutely fucking hate this.
What precisely do you hate?
I hate how I don't feel anything. Seriously,
I don't either, but I don't hate it.
Listen, so even the what I consider the bad
Well,
characters,
camera started shaking.
I can sometimes feel something in, you know?
Yeah.
Halloween 5,
Yeah.
I can feel things. Halloween 4, I can feel things. I can't feel anything here. This is just watching. This is like less than watching a nature documentary.
Oh man, all that camera shaking. It's so brutal.
Mhm.
Awful.
It's so raw. That's
So brutal.
Yeah. He wants to capture the verisimilitude.
I think Stone mentioned it earlier. He should have waited till after all this and then hit us with the Halloween title card, kind of like Friday the 13th did in
I agree
2009.
with that. Yeah.
That would have been a better time.
Just to remind everybody what they're watching.
Yeah.
Because, well, you wouldn't be able to recognize it if you were expecting a Halloween movie. Got some weird shaky cam going on for no apparent reason right now.
Piz, were you compensating us for tonight? I can't remember. Was that how we were doing this?
Was that what? I'm sorry. Compensating.
I blacked out.
Wake up.
Where am I?
Hey, he's got Sherry Moon calendars for everybody.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steak Sauce says Piz secretly loves this movie, so that may be why we're doing it tonight.
I love a lot of things that are bad for me, but this is not one of them. I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, at one point during the script writing process, Zombie was like, Michael enters the room, he picks up the baby, he bites the baby's face off, he pulls out the spine, he eats this. Yeah.
Oh, that's good, brother. Okay.
He turns into Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get the
So
baby.
that scene just pisses me off more about the character in the mental hospital, the guy that was nice to him, right? I mean, he just savagely murdered 2 people in his family, but he's nice to the baby.
Yeah, so clearly he has a preference.
So he has that within him, right?
Yeah.
So when that guy is the only guy that's ever nice to him, you'd think that he would have another one of those moments.
Yes.
The psychology makes no sense.
So we're 25 minutes into this movie. It took Rob Zombie 25 minutes to do what John Carpenter did in 2 minutes at the beginning of the original Halloween?
Yeah.
And he built more tension.
Exactly.
Like just with the POV going through the house. Yeah.
With much more style and class at the same time.
Yes.
What were they doing?
There is a halfway decent sequence, I think, coming up here momentarily where Mrs. Zombie Moon there, her character realizes that young Michael is gone, and so she goes back home and offs herself. That, I think, is a decent sequence because she's the only character in the film that is halfway likable, I think, or at least up to this point, she's about the only character in
the
film.
first half.
Exactly.
You do kind of feel that no matter what she did that led to her, life going off the rails, that she deserved, maybe as a person deserved better. So there's a little bit of I kind of felt sorry for her there for a second,
But who leaves a baby in that house?
She got to work. She got to make money.
Yeah.
No, you got to get that baby out of the house and go have a different life somewhere else.
Yeah.
That is about child abuse.
Well, obviously she shoots herself at home alone with the baby in the house. So, I mean, she didn't, it's not like she dropped the kid off at somebody else's house, went home, and then killed herself, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
We're talking about years of domestic violence and incest and abuse. So
on the television right now, there's a news report about a minor, and they just identified the minor.
That's true. That's true.
that's a goof. They goofed up.
They fucked up.
Yeah, when they greenlit the movie.
Like this whole sequence with Loomis and Michael just chilling and drinking orange juice, like it just ruins everything. Like more than anything else that's happened to this point.
Yeah.
Like he's supposed to believe this thing is not even a human being, and they're shooting his shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's all obvious stuff. There's no. He gives you nothing, admittedly, in those scenes to really work with.
He's just telling Michael about his latest trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there literally should have been like a shot before this where Loomis is in the car smoking a bowl before he.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They're gonna go with that Myers kid again.
Yeah.
Michael, you wouldn't believe DMT is a hell of a drug.
I am tripping balls right now, Mikey.
And
Sorry.
I will never forgive Malcolm McDowell for the justice snafu on my Clockwork Orange poster. Never forgive him for that.
Oh.
No, I think that was him. Just like, I'm bored. I'm going to screw with this guy. So, and he's going to pay me for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like him.
that's pretty much it. He probably did it to 100 people that day.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, this guy could pick me up and break me in half, but I'll mess with him. He was a little guy, is what I'm trying to say, and I'm a big guy.
I'm aware.
How long ago was that when you met Malcolm McDowell?
It's been a few years.
Yeah, I remember.
So he's probably approaching 80 by now.
You gotta be, yeah. Didn't Danny Trejo run into a burning house recently and save a bunch of people, or like he did something? Didn't he save?
I wouldn't put it past him.
I think I saw him on the news recently. He saved somebody's life, or like he pulled like a child out of a wrecked car, and
I think
Of course he did. Danny Trejo's the goddamn man.
Of course, yeah.
As he brought the kid out, the kid looked up at him and said, "Fuck you for Halloween."
I was good to you, Mikey.
They could have made that fight better, Machete versus Michael Myers.
oh yeah,
So why are we using reel-to-reel tape?
Because it's supposed to be the 70s.
That still wouldn't make sense.
No, it would have been
Yeah.
the portable recorder with the push buttons on the front. That's what it would have been.
100%, yeah. It's just stylistic at this point.
With the micro cassette, you mean?
No, standard size cassettes.
Dr.
Oh,
Loomis. Dr. Loomis can only afford this at this time. He's still,
He hasn't sold that book yet.
Spending
exactly,
all his money on dope.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Then once he becomes a best-selling author, he's puts the weed away. It's all cocaine from
Oh,
that
that's
point.
it. Then he's on talk shows with Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah.
I could see Loomis.
Well, that's how
on, like,
Rob
the Joe
Zombie
Rogan
signifies
show.
a change in decade. We go from weed to cocaine. Plus the 80s, obviously, it's cocaine.
Exactly.
That's like Rob Zombie's progression from like early afternoon to evening too. Again, a filter on digital video does not look like Super 8. They got to cut that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not authentic in any way.
The fuck is that? Paper mache?
Extra creepy paper mache.
That's the first hint that your kid's not getting better, that he's still making shit like that.
Exactly.
It's like,
Seriously, Rob, that's his character trait. He makes masks.
he's in some kind of facility. Couldn't they have given him clothes that doesn't make him look like dirtbag? Like he's wearing like cutoffs and like he's like.
The better question is, how do you make those masks without scissors? And if they handed him scissors, it's just not a good idea.
Yeah, good question.
Oh my god.
Resurrection Reviews, our buddy Steven says it's strange how there are so many cool character actors in here and none of them are good.
Oh yeah.
It's such a colossal waste of talent. It's staggering.
Yeah.
Well, most of them were like beyond the end of their career, so they were just happy to get a paycheck. So
Yeah.
they're like,
Exactly.
Rob, I'll say whatever you want me to say. The check cleared.
But can you say you're an actor that has been in some great films, maybe Academy Award nominated, and get approached by someone named Rob Zombie to make a movie. I mean, do you think you're being like...
He probably introduces himself as Robert in those scenarios.
Because I don't believe that Malcolm McDowell would have known who Rob Zombie was before sitting down for an interview. You know,
I seriously doubt it. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure his agent called him and said, "Mr. McDowell, Rob Zombie wants to meet you." He's like, "Who? What the f are you talking about? Never what?
not looking for a man named Zombie.
Are you serious? Is this a joke?"
He wants you to wear hair.
How many zeros?
How many zeros? Yeah.
Okay.
I just can't believe there was a quick shot of Malcolm McDowell bringing him gifts and there's snow outside. I was thinking, wait a minute, is this Christmas or Halloween?
Well, and now he's hugging Michael lovingly, all like it's all right.
Yeah.
He'll be. Well, yeah.
You can't go anywhere. I'm sorry.
This
Anyone in Akkad's family said this was okay.
Yes. If Mustafa Akkad was Mustafa Akkad alive when this was made?
No, he died.
Okay. Okay.
Because I think they put Malik on this one.
Okay.
yeah, he's the one who was the problem here, I think.
Yeah.
You think so?
Well, I think. Well, you know, in all honesty, I think it was Mustafa who thought it was a good idea to have Busta Rhymes in Resurrection.
Ugh.
So his judgment was poor.
Well, this deep into this movie might have been a better decision than this movie.
I mean,
trick or treat motherfucker's looking pretty good to me right now.
I was gonna say I could go for that. I mean, like setting Busta Rhymes aside, like I can understand why for Halloween Resurrection, like he wanted to make sure to return to the character of Michael Myers, because I think he's on the record as saying like he thought like Halloween 3 was a mistake. Like you don't go away from Michael Myers, you stick with that. And so I think he was just adamant that it's like if we're gonna do it, it's got to be Michael Myers. And, you know, I don't know, a rapper was in the last one and he did okay, so let's find another guy.
Well, they were sticking rappers
LL
and all
is
kinds of
one
stuff
thing.
back then. So I think that was just kind of part of the
Actually,
era. But I always kind of felt that Resurrection, dare I say, maybe was a little ahead of its time with the streaming on the internet, with the house thing. I mean,
Oh, it had concepts that were definitely just
you know,
poorly
so
executed.
there was some good ideas there, but of course it was horribly executed. And, you know, it is what it is, but at least there was some creativity and some ideas there.
And I
Like,
like
It's
too,
interesting
like,
because I don't
Michael
think
went
that
home.
it's yes.
That was kind of neat too. It was like he's finished everything, went home. They just happened to be in his home doing a live streaming horror show.
As much as every time they try to dive into his like backstory and what he does, like when he's offline, that usually screws things up. Like, you know, you get into the Thorn story and whatever. Resurrection introduced some concepts that weren't like they kind of found like that room under his house where he's like eating rats and stuff. I don't know. I kind of wish there would have been more explored with that in some way, but I don't know if I can articulate what I would want from it. It's like they had good ideas, but they just sort of like kind of tossed them in there and they didn't really think about it much.
That's kind of how I view the difference between these two. This one shouldn't exist, and that one could have been better.
Oh, have you seen the early cut that's titled Halloween Homecoming?
No.
You know, you can tell that movie is like pieced together from like several other things. You've seen that cut? How is it?
It's a better film, but it's not a great improvement.
Is that the one that starts off with Michael as a little boy in the backyard on the home video? And is that?
Yes, but there is a copy that's been floating around that's a weird hodgepodge of both versions, which is a lot of people have seen. The original cut is almost all from the cameras through the house. All of it starts out with home movies and then it goes to the broadcast. There's very little framing elements to it.
Okay, that's not the one I've seen then.
It works better.
Is there any way that we can get more backstory? Because I mean, I really want to see more of him as a kid.
Would you have preferred this entire movie just be Michael Myers as a kid, and then have him be an adult in the second movie?
That was what Zombie wanted. He wanted one movie to just be Michael as a kid, and then the next movie to be.
What would
Michael
you do for a whole 2 hours of Michael as a kid?
I would like for this fucking kid not to be in the movie at all.
Barely survived 36 minutes of it.
I just want
there goes
the character's hair.
I don't care about the kid. What do we care? He's a oh man. Yeah, I said it earlier. I mean, he's a monster. Like he's not a little boy that we're supposed to feel sorry for.
Yeah.
poor Sybil Danning.
And I mean,
Jay is like, yeah, whatever.
yeah, poor Sybil Danning. Yeah.
Rob Zombie is kind of like a bad version of Quentin Tarantino. Like Tarantino goes out and gets like washed up actors and gets them to turn in like really amazing performances and do really iconic stuff. Zombie like just gets a bunch of like old washed up actors and gives them nothing to do, screwed up dialogue. They get drowned in sinks.
It's drowned in sinks.
Well, they're probably like, well, since Tarantino's not calling with an Oscar, I better take Zombie's money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
They don't get to choose, you know. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So this suicide makes the entire first section of the film pointless. Just
I wonder how many people in the audience during the original screening wish they were her at that time. I just want to fucking end it so this movie will be over.
What song is playing now? Like Tainted Love or something?
Because it's funny.
Sure.
Because it's funny.
Is it?
Now,
Never mind.
did you all see this movie in the theater?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I can't believe this movie made $80 million.
Well, it's because all of us dumbasses went and saw it opening night.
And then all the zombie Kool-Aid drinkers were like, "Oh, it's so awesome, man! I'm gonna go see it again."
I mean, at that point, I was one of those people, though. Like, 'cause I like Rob Zombie stuff a lot. It's one of the reasons I was so excited to see it.
I'm going to go back to the movie theater and skull fuck the screen. I loved it so much. Danny! Okay, I'm going to say it. I don't like the fact that he kills Danny Trejo. I don't like that.
I don't either. I agree.
It sucks.
See, I've forgotten like 90% of this movie. Like I haven't seen it since the theater, so
Oh, wow.
All this is like new to me.
Well, yeah, this is the director's cut, so a lot of it's new.
Has anybody seen 3 from Hell yet?
Oh,
no.
no.
It played for what,
Yeah.
a day and a half?
Is it out on VOD yet? I don't think it is.
I think it.
15th.
Yeah.
See, it will be soon.
I think I'm watching it on VOD.
Downloading it soon.
Yeah.
I guess I
mean-
just don't understand how this hulking beast, like he's just in like these little chains and like
From
two
Slipknot.
short.
Yeah,
Like, how is this guy
yeah.
not like at gunpoint every time they go into that room? I mean, God.
He's wearing a bathrobe. I mean, what?
It's like
It looks like a
wearing
Slipknot
outfit.
music video.
Yeah.
No, because then it would be better.
Yeah, that would be good actually. And every time they introduce new characters, and you're like, "Oh, new characters," and then they make them all shitty.
Yeah.
So then when he kills them, you're like, "Hey, aces, kill that motherfucker!"
Yeah.
And they just keep stacking them in there.
I mean, like even this like Loomis's like little goodbye speech to Michael, it just flies in the face of like who the character of Loomis was. Like in the first Halloween, like Loomis is on this like bureaucratic exercise that he hates, but he's doing it because he knows how dangerous Michael Myers is. Like he's not even really his doctor anymore, but he's doing it because it needs to be done. This guy's like going on a book tour.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got to leave, but I'm got to go make a lot of money off your ass. You have a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the new house.
And I
See
mean,
you later.
are we really supposed to believe that Loomis is like this close to him? Like he's given him nothing over the years, but he's like, "You're like my best friend."
Yeah.
What?
Oh, Michael, I hate to do this to you, but
Yeah, you're my best friend because you're going to make my ass rich.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be like, "You're like the son I never had."
I care so much for you. I titled my book "The Devil's Eyes."
Don't you love how Malcolm McDowell just looks back at the hospital like, yeah, whatever.
I spent.
Oh, by the way,
You can make
by
a
the way, the
fortune
book.
selling
Oh,
that
yeah.
mask, huh?
The book, The Devil's Eyes, of course, they obviously made a cover for a book. It was actually a cookbook. And when they mentioned that, I was thinking, oh, it's a served man. It's a cookbook! Twilight.
Well, I mean, even this stuff, like, because this is actually one of the things that annoys. Again, there's so many things. Like, we could go down the list, but like, even now, Loomis he's talking, and again, he calls it the devil's eyes, and he's talking about him like a person, like a patient.
Yeah.
Later, when he's with the sheriff, all of a sudden he starts spouting Donald Pleasance dialogue. He's like, no, you don't understand. He's evil. It's like, you haven't said that once before. You were friggin' hugging the kid. He's your best friend. What are you talking about?
Who's the real psychopath?
Yeah.
So we have yet to actually introduce our protagonist.
Hey, Malachi is going to get his rape on.
Oh man, here comes the rape scene.
This is great. I'm all the way over at Danny Trejo's scene already.
Oh God, I envy you.
Yeah.
Now the rape scene wasn't in the theatrical cut,
No.
and I don't blame them for taking it out. Like, what is the point of it again? I mean, everything
I blame
doesn't have
them
a point.
for shooting it in the first place. What?
Yeah,
the fuck?
exactly.
I know.
Exactly.
Let's go into the largest psychopath's room and rape this chick on his bed. Nothing bad could happen.
That is Malachi. That's awesome.
It is.
Yeah.
It's Malachi.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him since True Colors.
Oh, this is so horrible.
Okay, mommy. So I got a role in a movie, but here's the catch: I'm a mental patient, and these two trailer park dudes are gonna rape me and pull my top down.
But it's
in
a
front of
Rob
Michael
Zombie
Myers.
movie.
It's tasteful, though.
I'm gonna be
Look, Rob,
It's tasteful.
Yeah. No, Mom. No, the guy from White Zombie.
He's going to give me $100 to do it.
So,
I was watching
you like-
He did Dragula, Ma. Dragula.
so here's the thing.
He likes
Somebody with the
he
name
likes Lon Chaney
Zombie.
movies. He's cool.
So here's the thing, Mom. Somebody with the name Zombie is going to hire me to get raped by Malachi from Children of the Corn
Oh God.
in a mental hospital.
that sounds so much better than the actual scene itself, though.
I didn't realize this was in the theatrical version because I'm seeing this.
This is not.
I
it's
did not
in
see
the
this.
theatrical.
I'm on watch the theatrical because Danny Trejo just got drowned.
Oh.
Where I'm at.
Well, then Amazon has
Malachi's
this
pounding her
mislabeled.
like
I swear to
3-day-old
God, that's
bread
what
right
this
now.
is called.
Oh, this is so horrible.
Yeah, the movie is horrible. I agree.
I'm not like bothered by rape scenes than I am by murder.
This guy.
It's all fiction. I don't care. My problem is it doesn't work.
It's so over the top. Oh
Oh, man. These guys are cracking me up.
no.
I should pause mine until you guys catch up.
Ugh.
You know what's crazy?
Oh.
You know they could have done the same thing with the scene with just having one security guard come in and just start destroying his masks in front of him to fuck with him, and it would have been.
That's not how Zombie thinks.
But it would have been.
Gotta have a rape, though. What about that rape?
Oh man, the music just keeps coming. I'm sorry, I know you guys are way behind me, but Rush just hit Tom Sawyer.
Oh, God. Oh.
All the hits.
All the hits.
Ugh.
There should be a telemercial for the soundtrack of this.
There should be with the scrolling text. That's exactly what we need.
Man, Danny, you should have called in sick today, bro.
Yep.
On a positive note, that is a pretty cool mask he's wearing. Pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern.
Oh man, Ken Foray. I forgot Ken Foray was in this movie. I love Ken Foray.
Joe Grizzly, bitch. I can't wait till Ken Forey shows up. Just the way Michael kills him it made me laugh my ass off. I don't know, for some reason. I don't know if it was just badly shot or just how over the top it is. I don't know. Just some of this stuff just makes me laugh my ass.
Something like
It's like-
this movie.
Yeah. Like I said, I had the weirdest mixed reaction to this movie.
I wasn't mixed at all.
It's like everything in this movie has to be like as over the top or gross or dirty as possible. So like even when he kills that dude, he's like he's like pooping, right? He's like in like some nasty stall at a truck stop.
He's in the shitter right now.
Yeah.
And for better,
And
for
like
better,
he's-
for worse,
It's
this
like,
is his
again,
cover
everything's
version.
just fucking dirty.
Worse. Much, much worse.
Well, there you go. I was good to you, Mikey.
I swear, man, this camera operator has got like Bell's palsy or something.
Oh, God.
Oh, poor Danny Trejo.
Oh, yeah. I feel bad for him.
Like, he thinks about it for a second.
Well, if you think about it, everybody who's like a good person in this movie comes to some horrible end.
Yeah, I know.
This is the Rob Zombie.
But they're very rarely good people.
right.
Yeah. There we go, Ken Foy.
The Rob
What is
Zombie-
what is Michael actually thinking here? Like, oh, I'll just kill him, make him think that he's got me, or I'm just going to kill him anyway.
Well, this
Wow.
is where it seems like Zombie is sort of like playing on the history of Michael Myers' character, where he would do stuff like this sometimes. Like, he'd stand there, like you're talking to him, and then he'd just kill you, or he'd do something weird. But in this movie, it doesn't work.
Oh, sorry. It's a pathetic attempt to make him conflicted.
I'm not even sure that that's what. Maybe that's what Zombie is trying to convey there, is that he's not sure if he's going to kill him. But I think it's more he's trying to now treat him like the movie Michael Myers that we all know.
Was this supposed to be like the final straw when he kills this guy? He's now officially Michael Myers? I mean, it's
So
a
where are you guys
conflict
at in the movie?
No. He was Mikey Myers.
He was
Killing
Mikey
Trejo.
Myers.
Yeah, he's
Mikey,
killing Trejo.
Mikey Myers.
I'm gonna
Very
like
slowly
pause
killing
because I'm
Trey.
so far ahead of you guys.
Welcome to prime time,
You
bitch.
tell me as soon as you see Haddonfield, Illinois, October 31, and I'll hit play.
Uh-oh, the TV.
Oh, yeah. I get your reference now, Eric.
yeah.
I forgot Clint Howard was in this.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
For 2 seconds.
Remind me why we're doing this again. guys?
I don't know. I
To
thought
get
it. I thought it would be
To get it
funny.
over with.
I thought it would be funny, or I don't
It
know.
sounded
So far, it's
better.
just been depressing.
It is.
My hernia surgery was less painful than this.
For some reason, I thought this would be fun.
I did too. I did too.
I don't know why, but it's not. This is not.
I'm having fun. I don't know. Well, whatever.
I've got to go get alcohol.
I don't know
gonna
how I
miss-
could sit
I
there
suggest
if it weren't
whiskey.
for you guys, honestly.
He's gonna miss the whole Joe Grizzly scene. Okay.
No.
Is that really a bad thing? Is missing any part of this movie really a bad thing? Although I'm a fan of Ken, Mr.
Oh, I
Poirier.
love Ken. And just think, 3 years before this, he was in the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Which was a decent remake. I mean,
That was a good remake.
Dawn of the Dead's a
Oh,
good
I wasn't a big
Really?
fan of the meth head zombies, but
Are you
other
looking
than that, it
forward?
was pretty good.
I still
Are
really
you
like
looking
it.
forward to Zack Snyder's sequel called Army of the Dead that he's, I think,
Is
making
that
right
actually
now?
happening?
Ugh.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's happening.
Are
You
they going to
think
be
this-
track stars again?
Do you think this wig was Ken Foray's idea?
I like to think that it wasn't a wig. I like to think he showed up to set that day and he was like, "I'm looking like a fine motherfucker."
He looks like the fucking
Do this.
Wolfman.
Like, think of the scene that we're unfolding here. We're watching this big old dude drop a big steaming Duke while reading a porn magazine that they show to us. Like, we actually get to see that whole page.
It's right
Of
there. in
course we
front.
did.
I remember now. Rob Zombie said that Ken Faree wanted his hair to look like Eddie Murphy's in Dreamgirls. That's not a joke.
That was a stylistic decision.
It kind of looks
Exactly.
like Wolfman Jack.
Remember, guys, let me know when you hit the Haddonfield screen because play.
All right, I'll let you know.
I think just as punishment, we're going to wait a minute or two after, so you have to endure more than we do.
No,
You've
no.
had a break so far.
I was good enough. I was good enough to wait because I could have been another 5 minutes ahead of you guys. I was like,
I think we're doing this wrong. We're the ones that should be fast forwarding to catch up to him.
you know what? You should be.
That's
But
true.
it just gave me more time to pour a drink.
There's more shots of feet in this scene than Quentin Tarantino films.
God, they are gross too.
I don't want to get into like any TMI here, but like in movies, and it's always in horror movies, it seems like people are able to just like stop pooping. I don't know about you. Like if I'm committed to it, it's like I gotta finish the task. Like in like Friday the 13th, people just start going and then they pull up their pants without wiping and go do things.
It's
like
the
I don't
same
get
thing
it.
with food. Like
They
if I
don't
sat
wash
down to a
hands,
meal, I'd be like, I have to finish this before I can move on. They'll like have one bite and then just go and do like an adventure.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. They just it drives me nuts.
Joe
I'm like, somebody would have
Grizzly.
finished that sandwich. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, would you wear that guy's pants knowing he didn't wipe his ass?
That's
Well,
one thing.
he had long johns on.
That's one thing
Check
that
the
haunted
camera.
me.
Check it. So I know it's
Damn.
check the camera.
All right, people. I have got some high life here.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So let's
Champagne of beers.
let's get the
Is
high
that the one?
life. Let's get. Yep, this is.
Watching low life and drinking high life.
Let's get the high life going.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, this is a good stuff.
Little of the bubbly.
Little of the bubbly here.
They
There
call
we
it
go. Let's
the
put
champagne of beer.
let's put that aside for right now.
All right, Riho, I got title.
And I also got
Thank you.
got my Xanax here, boys. So
He's going to
Bottoms
bed
up,
early
people.
tonight. This is going to bed early.
that's some good stuff, baby. Doing good tonight, baby.
Boone County.
And D. Wallace.
Totally randomly, I'm on Twitter, and there's like a Viz Media ad that came up for New York Comic Con, and it's Danny Trejo doing anime quotes. That is the most random thing that could have happened tonight.
Oh, man.
I have no idea how that even made that. They must have paid him some serious doge.
So, here, like Lori's basically acting like her friends. In the other, like, and again, I'm not saying this has to be like a shot-for-shot remake of the original Halloween, but it's like Lori was sort of different. Like her friends were kind of the sex-crazed, nutballs, and Lori was like kind of a good student and smart. Had a secret crush on a dude, but like she kind of kept it to herself. This Lori's like making the same kind of like puerile jokes and shit.
Because
that,
she's
like,
supposed to be real.
But, hey,
Yeah,
she's
she's
wearing
real.
glasses, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. No, yeah, Lori's like a mousy, bookwormish introvert, right? That's always thinking.
Mm.
She's not fucking donuts with her finger. You know what I mean? It's yeah. But she's wearing glasses, so he tried.
Yeah.
And is that like a common joke between parents and their children to joke about your teacher raping you and then, fuck a donut or whatever?
Not from my experience, but
I don't think that was in the theatrical cut.
it was. I remember it. I remember it.
Oh, it was?
But
Oh, okay.
But is it any worse than I got peanut butter on my penis?
It's way worse. Yes.
I forgot about that line. I have to watch that one again.
No, you really don't.
No, you don't. You've seen it. Move on.
yeah, that was some pretty weak dialogue.
If that script had been written on the finest toilet paper, it still wouldn't be worth wiping your ass with. It really wouldn't.
Man. Well, Joe Grizzly didn't.
Do any of you guys watch
So he might have had a copy of the script and be like, "Fuck that! I ain't wipe my ass even with that."
Because I forget that actor's name, but he was on Glow's recent season. And I remember I saw him, and I didn't immediately recognize him, but he's like an actor who's been in like a bazillion things. Like he's one of those character actors. And then when I looked it up, I was like, oh, it's the peanut butter guy.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that guy in a lot of stuff.
Wonder how he feels being known as the peanut butter guy. That's something to hang your hat on right there.
Well, I mean,
You were an actor. What'd you do? Hey, I was the peanut butter guy, man.
I mean, who
the
went to
beta cup.
Halloween? Who went to Halloween 2018 looking to see like Lori's daughter's husband in the future? Like his role was,
Yeah.
he's just a guy.
Yeah.
And the mask was
technically
waiting there
he was
that
a guy.
whole time.
He was kind of more like a Ken doll.
I don't know. Like, it just seems like the mask is in really good condition for having been there for like what, 20 years or?
It's pretty
15 years?
fucked up. I don't know.
I used to have like a Halloween 4 mask, and I had it like on some like styrofoam, and I had it kind of like in a place where, like controlled temperature, and I eventually had to get rid of it. Like the thing just kind of got all fucked up, and that was just sitting in a normal room. This thing's been like rotting under the house for 15 years. I don't know.
Yeah, no way that would have.
Already on to High Life number 2, boys.
All right.
Shit. Michael Myers is gonna die of mildew.
That's what killed him. It was
That's why he's so crazy in part 2.
Black mold.
Seeing shit.
He's gonna hallucinate real good before he dies.
Yeah.
Hey, I just noticed that Tommy Doyle here is. Did anybody watch Psych? Show on USA Network? Anyone see that show? Well then never mind. He was a character, recurring character on that show.
Oh, okay.
I hate these characters. I just hate them. Everyone. Like, this is not Laurie Strode. This is some annoying girl that lives down the street from me that needs to die.
Let's talk about something positive. Who saw the first episode of Creep Show on Shudder?
I still haven't had a chance to watch it, even though Jay has done everything in his power to get me to watch it.
Yeah, I saw you guys were talking about it. I saw all that.
It's great.
It was
I
very
want to
good.
watch it. I just haven't had a chance.
I've not watched episode 2 yet, and
I haven't seen episode 2 of AHS yet either. So
There,
I haven't either.
actually, episode 3 I think came out last
Yeah.
night. I've not seen it yet.
I watched it on streaming, so it's only. I don't think it's up yet, so I have to get caught up on that one too.
Yeah, I watched the first episode of Creep Show with the kids the other night.
The girls like it.
Liked it a lot. We've got a 29-year-old Danielle Harris here
Yes, we do.
playing high school student.
Fitting right in place at high school. To Udo Kier.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
I keep forgetting the people that were in this movie. How do they even do this?
Question isn't how, it's why.
Yeah.
Why didn't why didn't Zombie cast Danielle Harris as Jamie? You know, or was he thinking like, okay, so here's how I'm going to hook a bunch of people. I'm going to get the little girl from 4 and 5 naked in my movie.
That's exactly what he did.
You got me.
You nailed that.
Damn.
On the head.
So I think Udo Kier might have been a better choice for Loomis in this.
I agree.
Oh my
I
God.
Oh.
Even in this scene, like he's not like Loomis is like trying to like pull his responsibility. He's like, no, he was mine. Like he's not mine anymore. I'm not responsible for this. The fuck, God.
Can you imagine Udo Kier? He has the devil's eyes. The blackest eyes.
Why didn't they make him Loomis?
Michael, you were like my best friend.
Because they needed a star, I think, for Loomis.
You need a creepy looking dude to be like. Frankly, Malcolm McDowell is too handsome. Like you need like a dude who kind of looks like.
I agree with that.
Paul Giamatti would be a good Dr. Loomis, I think, because he looks like a weird little dude.
I shot him 9 times.
What about Steve Buscemi as Dr. Loomis?
He could be Dr. Loomis too. He looks like a villain. Like that, you need that guy. It's like where it's like the you're sort of enlisting some guy who seems completely unequal to the task. Like that's what you need.
How about we make something not called Halloween that's not Halloween? Because this was a thankless task. I mean, it doesn't excuse what they did, but I mean,
they had no chance.
This is again reminding me exactly why I don't want these late in the day reboots, remakes, and sequels. It's just you're never gonna touch the originals.
Let's hope that if they do a new Friday the 13th, it's a prequel, and in the role of Elias Voorhees is Udo Kier. Would that not be brilliant?
I was going to say, let's just hope they don't do another Friday the 13th.
No,
I'm sorry. I like that. Like that remake. To me, there were some things that they got way more right about sort of the spirit of that franchise than this movie or the Nightmare.
Oh, absolutely.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the only thing that
I
they did
actually
wrong
like
was
the Friday
the
the 13th
location.
remake.
They should have shot it in New Jersey. It was Texas looked awful.
Yeah.
That's
And I
the
would
only
say
thing
that
I
I think the humor was off too, because like the Friday the 13th movies had kind of an undercurrent. There was like, that movie was kind of mean spirited,
Yeah.
and I never thought Friday the 13th was mean spirited.
oh man, Sid Haig.
I think there's
R.I.P.
the final chapter that are a little more mean spirited than the rest of the franchise, but
That's fair.
I will take the Friday remake any day of the week over anything Rob Zombie's made.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Oh,
D plus
man.
is nothing to brag about, but at least it's a passing grade.
Well, I give it more than a D plus, but
Yeah, I'd give it more than a D plus too.
I
But
would
C,
I would
C
rather,
minus. I'll go C minus.
I would rather watch House of a Thousand Corpses than the Friday the 13th remake.
what?
Yeah.
The characters in the Friday remake are almost as bad as this one.
Does he say
I
like
get a kick out of them.
Yeah,
They're not deep, but I get a kick
And
out
then
of it.
they like
Your tits are
remade
magnificent.
the first four films all in one film.
Yeah.
I'm not
That was
here.
it.
I'm not defending it. I'm just comparing it. This is a contrast.
I'm not saying I hate it. I'm just saying that, and I agree that out of the Freddy remake and this remake, it's the better, it's the superior remake. But that's not saying much. But I would watch it again. However,
The Freddy
these
remake
two,
Well,
is criminal.
I'm only
if they
watching
came
this
out
one
and said,
because I'm
"We'll do
kind
a
of
sequel to that movie." Would you be upset?
it's unnecessary. Why would they? What are we going to get? Are they going to do the next?
What are they going to do? I don't even know what they're
Roy's
gonna
going to start it out, and then
They're
all of
gonna
a sudden
start
it's
it
going to
over
be
again, what they're
Undead
gonna do.
Jason, and then we end up in Manhattan again, and then he's a worm. I mean, it's just, you know, I mean, really, the thought does kind of scare me.
The other day, and I don't know why, but sometimes if I just need like a little pick me up or a little smile, if I think about Creighton Duke and I think about like that one line of dialogue from his interview where he's just like, I think of a girl in a pink dress putting a hot dog through a donut. That for some reason that line of dialogue just makes me laugh. Like that, I hate I hate Jason Goes to Hell, but I like Creighton Duke, the character.
he
Because
is
I
great
keep
in
saying we need to do a show that's like movies we hate, but like have something we really like. I wish Creighton Duke could have been in like one of the ones I liked because I'd watch it more.
He was because Creighton Duke is the adult Reggie the Reckless.
That would have been cool.
That harms
would
the
be cool.
reputation of Final Friday.
Yeah.
I like and Jason Goes to Hell when the doctor eats the heart. That's like my favorite part of the movie.
I don't know. I think of Jason Goes to Hell as this psychotronic film. It's in its own headspace. I like it.
And he just stares at the heart for quite a while. It's like I'm gonna eat this.
Steak
The guy
sauce.
that wrote the script was watching The Hidden and went, "I got it."
Exactly. Yeah. Steak sauce out in the chat. The swig of beer for Sid.
Yep.
He also thinks Jason Goes to Hell is quote unquote top tier Friday the 13th. Is there
Some
a
people
boom
do. It
function on
has a big fan base.
It does.
I don't know.
It does.
I disagree.
Who thinks
No.
it's top tier?
Steak sauce.
Steak sauce.
Oh, steak sauce.
I will admit I do think it actually has a bigger fan base than it is a bigger fan base than I think it should have, because I don't like it very much, but I do think there's a fair amount of fans of that movie in particular. It does have kind of a weird, quirky quality to it. I'm not saying that's a good quality, but it has something that I think just kind of attracts some people. I don't know.
I guess we're not going to comment about what's on screen right now.
No.
Oh yeah, Halloween. Rob Zombie.
I think we're all trying to ignore it.
Bob's about to get fucked up.
I'm still on the Sid Haig in the cemetery with Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah, that's where I'm
I
at
am.
too. Yeah.
I feel like these guys are trying to sell me life insurance or something.
Oh, you're all the way back at the cemetery scene?
I'm at Bob.
Yeah, it's the cemetery.
Cemetery.
Oh,
Like what prescriptions they take or something.
time to rewind.
I'm not rewinding.
Forge ahead.
I waited for you guys once.
Oh my god, is that really what? Was that in the theatrical version?
The Trick or Treat,
The
yes.
crucified dog.
Oh my god, I didn't remember that.
Are you talking about the crucified
This
dog
movie
or
just hates us.
the Trick or Treat thing?
The Trick or Treat. I don't remember that at all.
It was. That was a moment I remember in theater, and I just I almost vomited. Almost vomited.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
I do like that they got about as close to the original van that Bob had as they could.
Bob.
I believe that looks like they went and found it or something and fixed it up.
Oh, did you guys hear? You know, they're bringing back all these characters for the new Halloween Kills movie. They're bringing back Bucky. The guy who played Bucky is going to be in Halloween Kills. Did you guys hear that?
I would love that.
It's for real. It's for real. Bucky's back.
Fucking kill me. Really? Come. This
Yeah,
gotta end.
It has ended. I'm not going. I quit.
I've told the story before, but when I saw Rob Zombie's Halloween in theaters, there was a couple of teenage girls behind us. And when the movie started, they didn't stop talking the whole time. They just talked through the whole movie.
Oh, I hate that.
We turned to each other and we're like, me and my friends, and we're like, they better stop or else I'm going to get up and do something. But by like the half-hour point, I was paying more attention to their conversation than was on screen, and it was
You didn't care anymore. It was distracting.
It was more entertainment value. I felt like, their conversation might have been a D minus, but the movie was a FFF minus.
It's like, what sort of a scum fuck are you that you think you can go into a public place and do that shit?
I hate that.
Like, what the hell is wrong with people, man? Like, there's no common decency. There's no consideration for your fellow man anymore.
That's one of the many reasons why I've developed a social phobia with theaters. The thought of going to the movie theater on Friday night for a brand new movie is a billion times scarier than anything in this movie.
Yeah.
This is why Alamo is like my favorite theater chain, bar none, because they kick those fuckers out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which is cool. They should.
I'm just realizing that Mickey Dolenz is in this movie.
He is?
He plays the guy just sold him guns. I know you guys are a little behind me, but he just sold Loomis a gun. I was like, this is dude from the Monkees. This is happening. I did not click on that before.
That's like another scene. Like, why did we even need that scene? Why do you need to
put
see
Mickey
Loomis
Dolenz
buy
in
the
the
gun?
movie?
Yeah.
Oh. First of all, this is how bad the movie is. Linda is like about ready to do her full naked scene here. Like, I don't even care. I'm over it.
I just find it distracting they give Bob the exact same pair of glasses that he wears in the original.
They completely remade that scene from.
But we've spent so little time with these characters.
Yeah, exactly.
No weight to any of it.
Yeah, I mean, Michael's the character we know the best. And, frankly, these characters are annoying and stupid, so it's sort of like, okay, kill them. Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Whatever.
He's so
Zombie is just recycling at this point.
No. Recycling means you create something new on the other side out of the crap that we already used.
Yeah.
This
Fair
is
enough.
just bad plagiarism.
Yeah.
The fact that Blue Oyster Cult's brilliant, epic, Don't Fear the Reaper is playing during this is just...
Again? Wow.
What are you guys seeing? I'm watching D. Wallace here.
This is Linda's about to get up and...
Oh, I didn't even realize the Reaper's playing that.
Blue Oyster Cult never wrote a bad song. That's a fact.
More cowbell, guys. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Never wrote a bad song.
How about they did that soundtrack to that full moon film, and that was all dialed in.
I didn't even know they did a soundtrack to a full moon movie.
Bad channels. It's pretty awful. The movie and the soundtrack. But Imaginos is one of my very favorite albums. So
I actually forgot that he tried to hand her a beer. Like, really?
What? Oh,
He actually like bothered to have a beer in his hand just to keep the
Yeah.
gag going just that much longer.
how did he even know she wanted a beer?
Well,
I
he's
guess
not inconsiderate. I mean,
He was really in character. Bob had a beer, so he's like, I gotta
Maybe
get a beer in my hand.
maybe he was going to drink it. And he was like, "Here, take it.
Yeah,
I'm thirsty, bitch.
yeah.
All this killing's got me parched."
I think he opened the refrigerator, looked in, and went, "Fucking domestic."
Probably, yeah.
So he's just like really sexually frustrated.
Yeah.
Like, damn,
Pretty
Wiener.
much.
Damn it.
yeah, Linda's like, because doesn't like her naked body show up again later? I think doesn't like Lori come across her?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
she-
he carries her off and props her.
yeah.
Okay, now Loomis is buying the gun, which again, not sure why we need this scene, but sure.
There's Mickey Dolenz.
This is such a bad. You don't want just buy a 9. Really, something small, something that has no kick, something you can discharge quickly.
Well, because this is the Hollywood version of what gun stores
This
are
is the
like.
second time we get the same scene from the thing.
You know, the entire time Rob Zombie was directing this, he wore a hat like Mickey Dolenz does, like just a camouflage hat the whole time. That's my director's cap.
I just don't understand how when the dailies were going back to the studio, someone didn't speak up and go, "Guys, we got to do something. This is not working." Like, really good?
Well, like you said, he experienced a lot of studio interference. They were trying.
You think there were test screenings of this?
I'm sure there were.
Yeah, because I think I remember Ain't It Cool News, which was more relevant at the time. I think they had some reports from some of those screenings, and I started getting a hinky feeling all the way back then.
Well, I mean, I think it's kind of a cop out, but it is. Miramax was notorious for screwing up decent movies.
I don't think there was a good cut of this movie.
I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt on that. I think that's his cop out now when he realizes that it's a shit movie.
Well, after Bob Weinstein's, name has been through the mud as much as anyone possibly can, he's an easy victim. It's easy scapegoat for this. But I mean, there's no way the elements of this film ever were going to congeal into something worthwhile.
But like,
I mean-
go ahead.
My only thought is kind of what I said earlier when we were talking about how, like, the sort of the technical mastery, the innovative way that the original film opened. I kind of just wonder if the studio was kind of willing to accept to a certain point, like, we kind of have to make it our own. So they let him do, again, it sounded like Zombie's plan was he wanted to do like a first film that was just the kind of prequel, then do more of a Halloween. And so it sounds like maybe the studio sort of forced the issue on that. But like in terms of the general content, maybe they were just like, well, we kind of just have to roll with it because, how you can't really match the original Halloween. You sort of have to do your own thing. I don't know. I'm giving them more credit maybe than they did.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Cover version. It's the cover version.
So, just
Let me know when you see Danielle Harris with a pumpkin. I'm waiting for his again.
how about this for a concept? Rather than hand this movie to Rob Zombie, you give it to Michael Dougherty.
Oh, there you go.
You know he would have been into it, and you know what he would have produced.
There was a couple of other people at that time. Like there was a lot of directors that could have done a better job.
That's Trick or Treat, right?
Yep.
Michael
Yeah.
Dougherty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't it write itself?
Yeah.
Zombie wrote this as well, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No one else could write this.
I mean, I'm just thinking
Crayon, probably.
maybe if someone else wrote it and he directed it, maybe it would. Well, of course, it would be better. Right?
Sure, it would.
Ugh. Oh, this movie is 2 hours.
I know.
It's the longest Halloween movie, and there's no reason in the world for it to be 2 hours.
Yeah.
No reason whatsoever.
One interesting, or not interesting, but just a detail I kind of noticed, I guess I didn't catch before, but when Michael kills Laurie's mom, it was sort of a rare, like, the way he, like, snapped her neck was backwards. Usually, you see them do, like, they twist the head or whatever. Michael,
Yeah.
like, held her head and, like, literally, like, snapped it by pulling it back, which, I don't know, interesting. I don't think I've seen that in another movie.
How drunk am I, Movie Man 95? Not drunk enough.
There
Not
you
drunk
go.
enough.
Not drunk enough.
Got
GPS
quiet.
coaching joined the wrong live watch.
Yeah.
Has Lori here been in anything else? I'm struggling to think of another movie I've seen her in.
Yeah, she was in the Runaways movie. Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of. It's a pretty good movie.
I know she's done other stuff. I just don't think it's stuff that anybody's really seen.
Well, when this is like your first movie, I can understand.
We need to ask Ryan 1988 if he's got a list of her recent films.
Is he a big fan of Scout Taylor Compton?
Big fan.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, Scout Taylor Compton doesn't even look like herself anymore. I saw a picture of her recently. She's got like tattoos and nose piercings, and it looks like she got too close to Rob Zombie and it rubbed off on her. She got infected with Rob Zombie.
We got a little Rob Zombie on her, and it.
Isn't Scout what you name your dog?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
And with that, this video got demonetized.
I don't know what the commentary there was, but yes.
I don't know. Scout. It seems more like a pet name than a person name. I don't know.
It's a weird name for
Scout Taylor,
Anybody.
straight out of
straight.
Taylor straight out of Compton.
So the pictures I'm finding of her, she's not like all pierced, but she looks completely different.
Really?
Like unrecognizable.
Maybe she took
here.
the piercings out, but she had some piercings, and like a nose piercing. Not that that's a huge thing, but I mean, she definitely the zombie infected her, and she went a little off the rails for a while.
Her profile pic has been doctored.
Well, you know how traumatic it is to watch this movie. Can you imagine actually being there when they were making it?
She was in 2 of them, for God's sake.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and the second one, that was probably what did it to her.
Wait a second. Roland666 says she got banged by Joe Pesci in the movie Love Ranch.
Well,
What the hell is Love Ranch?
I'm adding that to my queue.
Well, Joe Pesci's like 9 years older than her.
Wait, Joe Pesci was in a movie in 2010? I thought he disappeared.
I was gonna say I thought Joe Pesci was off the.
I know he's going to be in The Irishman coming up soon.
He was in it.
Martin Scorsese.
Where are you guys at?
Hell.
Stop watching.
Annie is coming to visit
Somewhere
Lori.
between. Okay, I'm queued up then.
Yeah.
I'm reading the plot synopsis of Love Ranch at the moment.
I am infinitely more interested in Love Ranch now.
Yeah.
Let's do a live commentary on this. This looks like an interesting
So
movie.
we're going to switch this over to Love Ranch, guys.
How much more movie do we have?
Oh, Jesus,
much.
we're still.
Holy shit! Bryan
There's-
Cranston's in that movie.
It's got a bunch of actors in it.
Wow.
Karen Manning, Helen Mirren.
Who directed it?
Rambo Raff is in the chat. Hi, Rambo. How you doing, man? You doing okay,
Taylor
man?
Hackford.
Ooh, he's a good director.
Oh, An Officer and a Gentleman? Oh, man. Helen Mirren is his wife.
Matt, I think we've all seen much better days. I know I certainly have. So-
You're missing it, Rambo.
No,
Yeah.
no, you're not.
No.
Well, Rambo did have to sit through Doom Annihilation recently, so I mean he's
Wow.
suffered enough.
That's
I'm gonna watch
a
it
bit
too.
much.
I'm going to watch it.
I do. I'm like morbidly curious about that movie, how bad it is.
I definitely think I'd rather be watching that right now.
Don't say you'd rather watch Slender Man.
Oh, that was a very bad movie.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know how horrible it is. So yes, at the moment, watching this garbage, I would rather be watching Slenderman.
How long is Slenderman? It comes down to pure
Probably it's like 90 minutes, I would imagine.
See, if we were watching Slender Man, it'd be over. It'd already be over.
Yeah,
We'd be
out of it. We'd be out of the woods.
Oh, here's at least we get some Brad Dourif here.
I mean, do you think Zombie? You know, he overwrote this thing so much. Do you think he was like looking for? I mean, was he like trying to be considered like a real filmmaker or something making this movie? Because I mean, there's just too much to it. It's like he's trying so hard and failing.
This was his first like studio film, right?
Too hard, yeah.
It's
yeah,
like I don't know.
Maybe he's thinking this is his one stab at legitimacy or something like that.
I guess.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Well, at the same time, trying too hard to retain what it was he had in his original films. Like he didn't want to seem like he was going to allow himself to be watered down, so he overcompensated. I don't know. Who knows?
You know, I mean, he's got his stamp on it. You know, you can tell this is a Rob Zombie movie.
See, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that this was approved by the Weinsteins. That they didn't sit like in a scene like this and go, "What are you doing here, Rob? Why is all this talky? Get to the stabby. What are you thinking?
What's a skull fuck? I don't understand.
Exactly. How did this get through the Weinsteins?
What's a skull fuck and where's Rose McGowan?
Makes me wonder, like, every party he goes to, does he have to stick his dick in the punch bowl just because he's Rob Zombie and he thinks that's what people expect? Like, oh, hey, Rob, how you doing? I was going to have some punch, but never mind now. Have a good one. Do you have to fuck up everything, Rob?
God.
Well, you know, I just sat through, you know, earlier this week, I listened to his commentary and I watched that whole documentary. What bothers me the most is, look, he's very technical. He talks a lot about making the movie and everything. But what bothered me is that he never talked about his feelings for the Halloween series in general. Like, he doesn't talk about, you know, how he discovered the John Carpenter original, if he had seen any of the others, what he thinks of them. You know, he's very, very technical. And that's okay, but at the same time, I wanted more of his, you know, his passion for the genre and for, you know, film history in general. And he's very dull with the technical stuff.
I don't think he was ever really actually a fan of the original film. Some of the things I've heard him say before he made it were not always complimentary. I always felt he was more of
he was all
Tobe
over the
Hooper
board.
guy.
He would say he thought it was amazing and he was a huge fan, and then he would be like, then he would trash it. It was like he was all over the board.
I feel like he started trashing.
Jamie's
like,
gonna be
after
naked.
he made it, like after he made his own version.
Yeah,
trashing the original.
Huh.
Because by the time part 2 came around, he was like, "Fuck original Halloween! I'm about to make a sequel. I said I wasn't going to, but I'm doing it."
Well, he also said he wasn't going to. He hated remakes, and then he made a remake.
Yeah,
that makes no sense. But I figured, as big a horror fan as he is, I mean, like, I assume he's seen all the Halloween movies.
I think he has, because he's made comments about like Busta Rhymes before. He's like, "You're telling me that like this is worse than like fucking Busta Rhymes doing shit." Mm-hmm. I've heard him say something like that before.
Yeah, Rob, I'm telling you, that's exactly what it is.
and it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad he doesn't put any like more Easter eggs in the movie for like Halloween fans, because really all he gives us is a new Daniel Harris. Is that seriously it?
Which, if that's what he thought,
I'm not complaining.
Fourth and fifth films were is a problem, but you know, it's just he doesn't get what Halloween is, and that made him the wrong choice.
Yeah,
I think you're right. Yeah, I don't think he understands what made it so.
Yeah.
Halloween is about subtlety. It's about what you don't see versus what you do see, and that is the opposite of his style.
because he
Right.
feels a need to over-explain everything for no reason, and all that does is
overshow.
drown the suspense. It drowns the suspense. There's nothing here. There's
I
not a
don't know-
single scary thing in this whole movie.
No.
Except the.
I don't know if I some.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I don't know if I missed it somehow. The first time I watched it, like Michael just like punched Annie out. Like he didn't even stab her.
Right.
He just like punches her in the
Just knocks
face.
it clean out.
Well, and how many of his victims does he like just slowly follow down a hallway and like, okay, do that for one victim. Like he's slow and methodical and he's relishing the kill. But, you know, the third, fourth time you see it, it's like, dude, what are you doing? You know?
Yeah, this is just.
There's not enough white guys with dreadlocks in this movie.
No.
Aren't there some in the sequel?
Yeah, I'm sure there are.
That's like saying, are there going to be any F-bombs in the sequel?
Yeah.
You know, I don't think I've actually seen H2 all the way through. Like I've
Oh,
seen
wow.
parts of it. I don't think I actually watched it all the way through.
Well, next
I
week will
prefer
be
much more.
next week will be a treat for you, my friend.
Oh man, I'm gonna
Oh,
find
yeah.
something
We're not
else
going to do it. We're not going to.
We're doing it.
No.
I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I am positive I'm busy.
I think his Halloween 2 is way better than this.
No, I agree. No, yeah.
Way better.
Yes.
It
Are we
doesn't.
doing-
But if I say I prefer it over the Rick Rosenthal version, I'm sure there's going to be hellfire. So I'm not going to say anymore.
Do not say that.
I
love the Rick
Amazing
Rosenthal,
Grace.
too.
Come sit on.
On my face. I love that movie.
mm,
It's okay. You can have your opinion. I was just joking. I did not mean to silence you, Stone.
no, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. Brad Dwarf doing a good job.
He's trying with the material, but it's not there. The material's just not there for him.
Yeah, I mean, Malcolm McDowell was sleepwalking through this whole thing.
Oh, yeah. That man was just like, sign the check.
He knew what this was.
I'll be there.
Malcolm definitely really read the screenplay, knew what it was, said yes anyway, came probably more prepared than everyone else on set. But he, as far as giving a crap, nah. Why would you?
I think if you maybe try to analyze it more specifically, it kind of feels to me like that this is not what should have been the fun. Like this is an early draft script that really needed to be worked on further. Because there's just some dialogue that sounds like it was written by like a theater student or something. Like there's just this weird kind of flowery dialogue in the middle of a Rob Zombie movie that just doesn't sound right.
It was rushed and not thought out. Should have
But
more rewrites of the script, and by somebody else.
That's the weird thing about it from a writing standpoint, is that it doesn't follow a traditional 3-act structure, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it has no through line. Michael Myers is the only character throughout the whole film. There is no consistent themes whatsoever.
Yep.
Every time there's so many dead end characters that you can't say anyone represents anything. It's really like it was written by a non-writer. Just what it is.
I mean,
it's a shot list, not a movie.
I don't know. I mean, the theme of dirtiness, grunge, skull
Floppy
fucking.
ass
I mean,
titties, yeah.
it's clear to me.
Seriously, after
How
that
would-
floppy ass titties line, I'm surprised Rob Zombie didn't get the E.E. Cummings Award.
How was that a Michael Myers moment? You got the girl still alive on the ground at his feet, on the floor, writhing around in blood. And he's standing there playing with her boyfriend as he's swinging on a rope and looking at him like it's some kind of a decoration.
Yeah.
I mean, how was that a Michael Myers
And then he
moment?
leaves.
Then he just walks
She's still
away.
alive on the ground.
I actually don't even mind that. That actually feels more like Michael Myers to me than some of the other stuff, because he does like weird, like the head tilt and some of the weird like cat and mouse stuff he does. There's something, because remember one of the central points Loomis makes, and again that's not in this movie, but in the original Halloween, is how Michael has this like supernatural patience, and that he's like marching to the beat of his own drum that like you can't really fully understand.
Mm-hmm.
And and again, that's not in this movie, but like the character generally, if you accept that, it sort of makes a certain sense, like why he sometimes like plays with people in this very weird way, like he's on his own schedule. That's not here. I want to be clear about that.
No.
Did she stub her toe or something? Because like in the original, she fell down the stairs and cracked her ankle and had a reason to be limping. I missed the part where she turned her ankle or something.
Did he cut her?
I think they may have
He
cut
pushed
that.
her over, and then she jumped through a window. I don't know how she got her leg hurt, but she's limping.
Okay.
It was in the original, so we have to mock it, right? We have to. It has to be there. Ugh.
Lauren's like, is this movie still playing?
I can't believe it. I'm still watching. There's more than 20 minutes left.
We got the whole third act. We still got the whole third act here.
Resurrection
I was
reviews.
gonna say there's actually quite a bit left. Jeez.
There is a lot
I
left.
know.
I know. It's
It's a 2-hour
unbelievable.
movie.
It's unbelievable. There's still
It
this
feels
much
like the
time left.
longest movie I've ever watched.
Oh Jesus!
You've never seen Battlefield Earth, then?
I don't know if
I
we
have in the theater.
I think you
If
could
the
laugh at
tagline
Battlefield
was-
Earth, though.
I don't know if the tagline was unrelenting horror, but it should have been unrelentingly horrible. My God, it just
Resurrection-
drags on forever.
Resurrection
Here we are again.
Reviews wants to know what your thoughts are on Rob Zombie's more well-received movies. I guess House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects, Lauren.
I like House of a Thousand Corpses for what it is. It's not good, really, but it's fun. House of a Thousand Corpses is probably what he should be doing. Devil's Rejects I liked a lot in theater. I watched it a few years later, and I didn't have as much fun with it. But it's still a high watermark for Rob Zombie. But I don't think he's ever gotten out of the probably C+ range. And I gave up after the Halloween movies. I have not watched 31. I am not going to see 3 from Hell. Or what was his?
Which are Lords of Salem?
The Lords of Salem, yeah.
Yeah, not going near it. There's just too much.
I actually liked it.
There's too much out there for me to see that has a chance of being a great movie to scale back my expectations just to watch. If you guys all came to me and said I was wrong about that, 3 from Hell or whatever, then I'd go in. But I'm not going to do it before that at this point. Oh my God, this movie.
Like this,
Like the
okay.
Energizer Buddy.
This is like this stuff I find a little, somewhat compelling. Like he's like trashing his way through the house, and he's just sort of like, I don't know. Again, I'm not saying I'm scared, but it's there's an intensity to it that I can respect. Like
It's
like
the shaky
there's
cam.
something
That is
interesting.
That is the worst cop that's ever captured on film. He was standing in a short hallway 5 feet away from Michael Myers. He shot him in the shoulder.
Yeah.
That's the worst
He's
cop.
got the same. He's about as good at shooting as a stormtrooper.
The cops, those 2 bumbling cops in Halloween 5 are better cops than that cop.
Yeah.
Well, if you go back to the scene, watch how they're holding their weapons, and you'll see the problem.
I'm not joking. There is still almost half an hour of this left.
I know, it's crazy.
How's that even possible?
The whole third
And
act.
like, if you match it up to the original film, like they should be finishing right now. Like she just got dragged out of the house with the kids. This should be it, but there's somehow still 20 minutes.
That's all that bullshit he tacked onto the front end.
Oh my god!
And then there's all this that's coming up where like he's chasing her through the walls and she's in the ceiling and like, oh my god.
Yeah,
And-
exhausting.
Even though I'm on the record, I do like the Laurie as Michael's sister plotline. It kind of feels like in this movie, like Zombie's trying to do something extra with it, but he doesn't even fully know what he's doing. Because that's what the extra 30 minutes is. It's like Michael sets her up in the basement and stares at her, and then that's what we're doing here for the next half hour.
And the killing of her parents seems to be personal. Like there's something he's trying to set something up, but then he never finished. He never completes that cycle.
Yeah.
And it's when you see the sequel, I haven't seen it, but I hear there's a lot of mother worship in it and stuff like that. There's some kind of a connection there, but not in this movie.
The sequel.
I'm ready for that white horse.
I've never watched it. It'll be a first time appearance. I gave up after this one. This was it for me.
Wander This World 97 says, Piz, would you rather be watching Anthropophagus again? I would rather watch Anthropophagus than
absolutely.
this. Yes, without question. Without question.
Hey, Piz, would you rather watch Halloween
Linda
New
look
Moon
like she's
Rising?
waking up.
Halloween what?
New Moon Rising?
Oh, Howling New Moon Rising. Yes, I'd rather watch Howling New Moon Rising than this.
Oh, man.
Yes. Howling New Moon Rising is a quick 90 minutes. I can laugh at how bad it is, and then it's over.
It's short.
Yep.
So, guys, to wipe the slate completely clean after this, search out the movie The Pool from Thailand after this. It's a great fun time that will make you forget all about this nonsense.
Oh.
It's about a guy stuck in a empty swimming pool that he can't get out of with a crocodile.
Wow. That sounds interesting.
Oh.
It's actually
Did you
a real pitch black comedy in disguise, but it's awesome. If you like dogs, you might not love the movie.
Did you guys notice earlier in the chat, like around, during the first 4 hours of this movie, they were like casting us in like the movie or whatever?
What?
Somebody was joking, like people were like listing out actors who would play us and some kind of, I forget how it started, but because I just saw someone wrote in there Danny DeVito as Orc.
What?
I suggested Michael Cera as Cole, but
It's a good one. That's a good one.
I don't even want to know.
Michael Berryman as B.
Oh,
Movie
wait,
Mike.
here we go. Michael Ironside as B Movie Mike.
Yes,
Barbecue Network
absolutely.
just dropped it like it's hot. That was incredible.
That's a good one.
Thank you. I'll
Michael
take that.
Ironside.
Well, because Mike, you do have a pretty good voice. I think maybe Michael Ironside is the only one who could quite capture it.
Yeah, that's it.
I keep hoping they do the V relaunch and they just hire him and it's just him shooting aliens for 2 hours.
That's great. Yeah. They should just every movie that he's ever done, they should just do another one, and it's just him continuing his roles.
Seth Rogen as Piz. I don't know.
No, not Rogen. I like
So
Seth Rogen, but nah.
What the hell is going on here? Shows her the picture of, okay, here's me when I was a kid and you were a baby. I'm going to take off my mask and then I'm going to, what?
And does this not look like the worst set you've ever seen?
Yes. I think this was part of the reshoots that they did, and
So now she's going to stab
it
him.
was.
They clearly made like a really small ramshackle sack, and they knew they were gonna like break it, so it's really shitty looking. This whole scene, I don't know. This had to be a reshoot thing, because this movie should have been over already.
They went to Lowe's, spent $25 to build this set.
yeah,
They did this in no time.
So I
According
killed
to
everybody, all of your friends and your family, so I could protect you.
Yeah.
Was that-
yeah.
What?
This kind of harkens back to some of the nonsense in like the mainline timeline of the films, where like in Halloween 5, like Loomis is going on and on about like how the little girl's gonna take the rage away. Like I don't even know what that means. And it seems like this is something similar, where it's like Michael wants something from her, but I don't think Zombie knows, so he just sort of orchestrates this thing.
Is this supposed to be like him? The only time he feels human is around her, and he's asking her for help in some way, or obviously we're thinking at a deeper level
Way too deep.
than Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons as B Movie Mike. I could get behind that one too, by the way.
Are we talking? What's the movie he did about the jazz drummers?
Oh my God, Stanley Tucci as Lorne. Yes.
Lauren's like, nah.
Speaking of ending up in a pool, here we are.
I'd rather vote for Tom Hardy as Lorne.
I'd count.
Hey, yeah, I could get behind that too.
Yeah.
You'd have to wear some kind of weird mask, and actually, the podcast mic, that could be the mask.
They want Tyler Labine as Jay.
Oh, this is getting weird.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm seeing Sidney Poitier's Cole.
Oh God.
This is getting
Wait a
weird.
minute, Lauren, weren't you just talking about a movie where somebody's stuck in the pool with an alligator?
Yeah.
Crocodile, yes.
Well, now she's in a pool.
Well,
He was thinking ahead.
I guarantee that the pool is a better film. than everyone watching.
Oh boy.
Ah, Jesus.
As long as it's shorter.
Oh, it is.
Piz, now they want to resurrect John Candy for you.
Oh, I love. When I was a kid, I wanted to be John Candy. I saw Uncle Buck and Who's Harry Crumb, and I was like, "Oh, John Candy is the coolest."
God, he is so cool as Uncle Buck, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's your old friend Sam.
It's me, your best friend.
Samuel.
The person
Sam.
that's been with you longer than my ex-wife.
Yeah. Samuel.
Okay.
Now, wouldn't it have been great if there was a shot of him snorting a huge line of coke before he went to save the day here?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It would be.
And he doesn't even shoot him with the whole gun. No 6 times. Come on.
Yeah, it should have been 6 shots, no doubt.
Well, but see,
They want the Sausage Factory movie to be directed by Rob Zombie. That would be ironic.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh, okay.
But see,
They'd have to recast this because they have not picked trashy enough people.
he's still trying to reach Michael while he's shooting him. Michael, stop! Bam! Michael, please stop! Bam! Michael, it's your old buddy Sam. Stop! Bam! You know, it's God. Just shoot
He just
him.
killed like 2 police officers.
Yeah. He's not your old buddy, your old pal, your old, Mikey. He's a freaking 8-foot tall monster.
Jackie Earl Haley as Lorne.
Now they're just being cruel.
That is just,
I thought we were friends here, guys.
As someone said, Dan Aykroyd is Cameron.
That's funny. Like Cameron is like just full of information, and so is Dan Aykroyd. So from that perspective, I could see like the characterization's right. I don't think the physicality is quite right.
Oh Lord! And there's
Michael,
still
I'm wearing a turtleneck.
there's still like almost 15 minutes left.
This is the turtleneck I used to wear with you, Michael. Do you remember?
It's 2007.
I think that's when we started watching it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Feels like it.
I feel like that right
man.
now.
Jesus.
There is no shower that gets hot enough to wipe this shit away.
So, like, they just showed Loomis. He's like drilling his thumbs in his eyes. I haven't seen the sequel. Is Loomis in the sequel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, is he
Oh, yeah.
blind?
Well, they
Oh, no.
Rob Zombie killed Loomis definitively, but then they made him go back and reshoot it to where he might still be alive in case they do a sequel.
Yeah, he moves. I think in like the final version, right?
Well, if you
But
watch
so is he blind though? He can't possibly have eyes.
No, he's got eyes. If you watch here closely, like he's super bloody at one point, and then there's another point where like he's barely bloody at all. So, yeah.
Okay.
Ryan Reynolds as Jay.
Wow. There we
You
go.
know, I can see.
Whoa.
Give Ryan Reynolds a big old beard. I can see it. Actually,
I'll take it. A lot better than Kevin James, so I appreciate it.
I got Jay Baruchel so far, so
That's what I normally get.
Who would be Monty?
Oh, that's
Jay Farrow.
listen. Where Hollywood is right now, we would all be recast by women. That's
Yeah.
all there is to this.
True.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Who would be Pizzo?
I'm sorry, Piz. Did you have a different laugh? I don't understand that. Someone says you had a different laugh in the early shows.
Older laugh.
I don't know.
Yes, the older laugh.
Well, before you sold out.
Maybe this is my
Before you sold out to Miller.
this is my I'm dead inside laugh.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm just surviving this shit.
Gus Van Sant wants to direct The Sausage Factory.
Can't be a fan of that either.
I would sign
come
off
on.
on it.
Bill Murray as Lorne, I don't see it.
No.
Oh God.
I think the title alone would probably.
Oh man.
See
make,
there,
Gus-
he's barely bloody there, and like Michael had crushed his head. Now he's got like a little cut
Yeah.
on the side of his
There's a
head.
lot of blood.
Leslie Jones as Jay.
Randy
That's more like
Randy
That's close to
Randy
100.
Quaid as DVD Collector 1974.
He's not nearly. I was gonna say he's not nearly angry enough, but I guess that's true these days.
Oh,
my
I
God.
see.
There's 9 minutes left, and it feels like it's.
There's
crawling.
9 minutes?
Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
I could make pasta and watch the make
Yeah.
most of the movie.
Lauren, why do I think you probably make a good plate of pasta?
Because you think I'm Italian and I'm not.
No, you've talked about pasta before.
Have I?
I thought we were talking about, like, maybe it was pizza we talked about.
yeah, it might have been spaghetti. My aversion to spaghetti, because that's
it's a me.
It's to me alone.
I'm from Jersey, so they assume I'm Italian.
The last time I saw this flick, Rambo, was in the theater in its entirety.
This is the last time. That was the last time I saw it.
And this is the last time I will watch this
This is-
film.
Yeah,
This is the last time I'm gonna watch it. This is. I think
Remember
this is it.
when we first started watching this movie when President Obama was still in office?
Yeah.
I kind of want to just frame this after this is done and put it up somewhere. 'Cause I'm never gonna watch it again. Just like put it up and just have it as like a badge of honor. Like I survived this bullshit.
We all need
That's
certificates to complete this.
Yeah.
It's like your Purple Heart, you know.
Yeah.
God, I hate this set too.
I just miss Sherry Moon.
I don't.
Oh, Jay.
Are they supposed to be in the Myers house? Is that where this is supposed to be? Like this entire final
Yeah.
scene? Is just
Yeah.
like, okay.
It doesn't
I
make
think
good
so.
sense
Okay.
They're
geographically.
never clear on that, are they?
Yeah, no,
Not-
this is the Myers house. Because she
I mean, it makes
finds
sense.
Linda's
'Cause
body, I think.
Yeah, and he digs the
Oh.
mask out. It makes sense. It's just
Well, it does.
Nobody cares.
Where
That's
they
the
walk
problem.
out for to deliver the envelope. It wasn't like right across the street.
yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Now they're not even trying. Alec Baldwin as Ryo. I don't
Yeah.
think
I
so.
don't know. I mean,
That's
I got Jay Baruchel earlier.
Oh, God.
I usually get Kevin Smith, so
A while back, I think someone said Jason Segel for me. And I was like, yeah, if I was like 5 feet taller, I'd be Jason Segel.
Are we
Who
serious?
played
Gonna do this
that?
second movie next week? Holy hell!
Yeah.
he is still smashing the ceiling with a goddamn 2x4.
And then
This has been
Loomis, who's
happening
been a
for-
big coward the whole movie, apparently just holds on to our horrible killer to sacrifice himself, even though nothing about his character up to this point had suggested he's a guy who would do that kind of thing.
Oh, this is exhausting.
I just want to say I hope our audience appreciates how much we suffer for them. I really
They better.
Well, wait a second.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
You guys, now understand how I felt with License to Drive.
no, 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 no.
Oh, someone's advocating for a sleepaway camp marathon.
I don't know any of them either.
Hmm.
I might do that.
The show's getting expensive. This is like Michael Myers' The Home Renovation Show.
Anything on HGTV would be more entertaining than this piece of shit.
Where's
I miss
Chris
Bob
Paul?
Vila. Yeah.
I'd like to watch them just remodel the Myers house.
That would be a better
Flip it.
movie. Yeah.
Let's flip it. A brutal
There was
killer
a
with-
joke. I think there was a joke. It was either on the last season of South Park or the one before that, where like Stan's dad Randy had like a home renovation business, but all he ever suggested was like you need to open up the kitchen.
Yeah.
So like in the background of their house, like the kitchen is just sort of like wide open, and you would see any house he did. Again, it's sort of a subtle, like that they just sort of put in the background. But every house he did had like the same sort of wide open kitchen. That was the only thing he did.
Yeah. If you watch enough of those shows, that's pretty much what they all want.
Yeah.
Like, these rooms are so small. Man, but it was built in like the fucking 20s or something, you idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we finally reached the best part of the movie.
There is one?
Yeah, the ending.
The end.
So, does Laurie, like in Halloween 2, does Laurie not actually shoot him in the head, or
I think he's got like a little scar on the side of his face. That's it.
oh, so she didn't like
Or-
get him like
Oh,
dead?
yeah.
In the, okay.
You're trying very hard not to spoil the clever ending.
She can shoot herself.
But like, I mean, the way she shoots him here, like a gallon of blood splashes her in the face, and then in the part two, it's like a little scratch on the side of his cheek. You know, it's like he nicked himself shaving or something.
This
Yeah.
would break your frickin' wrist anyway, so.
God, Zombie doesn't even give a shit about continuity, does he?
Not when he gets.
he recast
that
younger Michael
Weinstein
Myers
money.
in the second movie.
Well, I think
He
he had
recast
to.
He had to because the other kid was too big at that time. He'd grown.
Ironically enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kid shot up like a foot,
Yeah.
like soon after that movie was made.
And credits.
Because he was in that movie with Will Smith.
Yeah.
He was a superhero. or
Yeah. Yeah. What was that called?
something.
Who cares?
Terrible movie.
Who
It
cares?
was called Better Than This.
Ugh.
Michelle
Maybe not.
Pfeiffer as Cole.
Come on.
I thought I saw Whoopi for Monty earlier.
Whoopi? Wow. Is that all
Yeah.
steak sauce talking all this shit?
Mm.
Joe
Fucking
Spinell.
wine.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh man, that was excruciating.
Oh,
I'll turn it off, but I am enjoying
oh,
this.
sweet
man.
Jesus.
Hey, Piz, you made it.
Oh, barely.
I feel drained
Barely.
of all humanity and reason to live.
Yes. This is.
But the reason to live is that it's over and I'll never have to watch it again.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like,
Exactly.
what is this little
The
like?
Lord
disc
just
just got
broke the
destroyed.
disc.
There we go. There we go. Don't cut yourself. Don't waste the blood. In
My
memory of
God.
Mustafa Cod. In memory of Mustafa Cod.
It's like
Did they
sitting
stop
on-
by his grave and take a piss while they were at it?
Yeah,
Wow.
I am going to close that off.
Jesus.
Oh,
wow.
We somehow did it. I want to apologize to all you guys that I thought this would be a fun idea or it would be cathartic or something. But I mean, my God.
I mean, I'll tell you, I don't think I could have watched it if not for you guys. So at least for that, it was fun for that reason.
I would-
There's no other way I could get through it.
I
I've got
wouldn't have watched it.
the movie still going for me with the credits, guys.
I would
Yeah.
rather have a colorectal exam with a Big Mac truck than watch this ever again.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. Oh.
So here's a random one for you. But have you guys seen the commercial for Kohler Guard? It's like a rectal cancer test. It's like you shit in a box and you mail it to someplace. Have you heard of this?
Yeah.
The first time I saw it, I couldn't believe. I was like, "You mean there's poop in the mail?
Yep.
Are you kidding me?"
You know what you should do? You know what you should do is you should send a way to get that test and put this disc in the box and send it to
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, what's funny though is if you mail it to a doctor, it's fine, but if you mail it to an unsuspecting person, it's illegal.
You just gave a lot of sickos an outlet.
I could think of a few people I'd like to mail a box of shit too.
Yeah, I can. Here's Rob Zombie's mail tomorrow. This package stinks. It's from some guy in Kentucky.
Here's my review of your film, Rob.
Who do we know in Kentucky, Sherry Moon Zombie? I don't know. Well, the box smells like shit. Maybe it's that weed we ordered. Open it. Okay. Maybe it's those shrooms. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. God.
Well, here we are.
Talking about mailing
started-
boxes of shit.
Yeah, I mean,
It's more entertaining than
perfect
this fucking movie.
segue is mailing boxes of shit.
We've lost it at this point. We've totally lost it at this point. Oh, God. Sweet Jesus. Is anybody still watching now? We've got 42 people watching this. Gluttons for punishment.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
I certainly hope they watched along with us so they can enjoy the wonderment that we did.
Oh, yes.
Oh, gosh. That was something else. I don't know.
We're seriously doing 2 next week?
We're doing 2 next
I
week.
don't know if I'm ready. Should we push it out a week? I don't
Like next year?
Like I'm gonna be like next Thursday. I'm gonna be like, and
Let's space it even. Let's put it next year.
yeah. Next year we'll try it, and then oops, I forgot. I lost it. I don't know.
All right, guys, tune in next year for episode 2 of season 8 of the Sausage Factory. In which,
We need a year off.
Oh,
Jeez.
So Jay,
Yeah.
what do you think the moral of the movie you just watched was?
Oh, it's real deep. It's layered.
Everybody sucks, and they all deserve to die.
It's like an onion.
Oh.
It's very layered. But
And no one is ever clean, ever.
Yeah.
you're certainly not clean if you watch it. I don't feel clean.
take a shower and do some meth and
Hey, in the song credits, "Deck the Halls" by Bing Crosby.
it's irony. It's irony. It's hilarious.
Was that like playing on a radio or something during
I
that
don't
Christmas?
There is a
scene?
Christmas scene, which is
There is a
another
Christmas
thing
scene,
that's bizarre
yeah.
about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Decent soundtrack. It just most of these songs didn't belong in the movie.
All right, guys, we somehow
Oh, wow.
did it. We somehow
Hey.
survived it. I don't know how. Well, I know how I did it. I had some
I was gonna
highlights.
say I need more booze for next week.
Yeah, I need to bring some next time.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'll have booze
Mr.
next week.
Jameson,
Definitely.
for helping me survive that.
So yes. Next week, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 live
Me
commentary.
too.
Following and then we're following that up with a Halloween Resurrection live commentary.
That'll be the highlight.
That'll be
I mean,
I'm actually looking forward to that.
Oh God.
I'm really looking forward to Trick or Treat Motherfucker. Like I am
oh man, yes.
compared to this.
I could watch it twice in a row after that.
I think at least Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is like what 90, maybe like hour and
Well,
maybe 40 minutes
the
or something.
An hour and 45. So it's
Yeah.
only 5 minutes less.
119 minutes.
Are we doing director's
That's
cut?
the director's cut.
I'm only doing theatrical. Fuck you guys. And I'm not.
Yeah, what is the shortest version of the movie that we could watch?
Yeah.
The one we don't
theatrical
push
version.
play.
Yeah.
So it's a more condensed piece of shit. Hey, good news.
All right, guys, let's pop in the 4-hour making of and watch it now.
That's what I was going to suggest. Do the commentary on that for the last week of October.
It's honestly like 4 hours long, isn't it?
Yeah.
4.5. It's 4.5 hours long.
I'm
And they
so glad
break
I
it all
don't
up in
own
terms
that.
of shooting days.
That would
So
be
you
a
get to
waste.
day 37, and you're just no. End it now. They go through every shooting day plus reshoot days.
And you watched it all?
I watched every single
They
minute
actually
of it.
go through reshoots in the documentary. Like reshoots are.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
They should hide that they do that.
Did they explain them at all?
I just remember
In a way.
I remember that part of the making of, and Rob Zombie just standing around in that horrible set where Michael's on his knees in front of Laurie, just kind of kicking dirt around, completely checked out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can we just get this shot, please?
Pretty much.
Harvey, is this good? Is this what you were going for?
Harvey, get away from that plant. Is this what you wanted?
Stop groping my staff.
Harvey, can you put Rose McGowan down for a minute and come take a look at these dailies?
Oh no! No!
Oh, jeez. We've got Asia Argento on line too, Harvey. Oh goodness. Tarantino, get that girl's feet out of your mouth.
Oh,
jeez.
imagine being a fly on that wall.
Can you imagine being in like the Miramax offices? You've got Tarantino in one office sucking some chick's toes, and you've got Harvey Weinstein in another office masturbating into a plant. I mean, that's the place to be.
Well, certainly. And then you got Rob Zombie making a movie.
Which is the least fruitful of all those endeavors.
That's the most disturbing part, is Rob Zombie making this movie. Oh, Jesus.
Unfortunately, I think you're right.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yep.
All right, guys, let's call it a night, and let's try to cleanse ourselves. I don't know if there's any way we can cleanse ourselves. I don't know.
There's not.
There's no way. Mike, are you going to be able to join us again next week?
Oh. Unfortunately,
he's getting a root canal.
Yeah, I'm a glutton for punishment. I'll be back.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
All right, there you go, guys. B-Movie Mike will be back next week for our Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 live commentary.
Oh,
so
why?
He hates his life that much.
again, I hope you guys appreciate what we put ourselves through in the name of entertaining you guys. But yeah. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for a lively chat. Let's see who's still with us here. Barbecue Network, David Vines, Borderline 11, Steak Sauce. Who else is here with us? Cody W1, Movie Man 95, Dave Shaw, PlayStation 9, Verisimilitude, Roland 666, Wander This World 97. Thanks for sticking with us. I believe Rambo is still with us as well. So thanks for hanging out with us tonight, guys. We appreciate it. We will be back next week with our Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 live commentary. Tune in for that. You guys have a great one. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you again next week. And until then, peace.